I think I have this right, Chris Cody. Do you think I have it right when I say in our group of people, the group of people who have worked here the longest, the hardest inner circle to get into is Billy Gill's inner circle? Do you agree with that assessment or disagree with that assessment?
I think I agree with it. Billy's a tough nut to crack.
I mean, what is this supposed to mean?
I'll tell you what it's supposed to.
My inner circle are either people I've impregnated or the people I've impregnated have birthed. So it is difficult in that sense.
But you are somebody, because you can be a bit of a mystery. I saw earlier in the room, Fuentes is very eager. He's a very eager person, and he is a hustler. And
he's a something.
And he wants to be your friend, and I see it happening.
Why?
And you're playing hard to get. And so when he said that he got a return text from you, and all of us, Chris, Mike, me, we all looked. We're like, you got a blessed return text from Billy? You're in the inner circle, Fuentes.
I think you got me confused with somebody else. Billy and I, super tight.
Yep.
Fuentes was telling people that he got a return text from you, and then you told him, well, that's the end of that.
Well, no, that's not what he said. He came out and he decided to, for whatever reason, make a proclamation to the office and said, me and Billy exchanged 11 total texts last month. And I was like, who cares? Why are you telling people that? And Dan's like, oh! And he's like super excited. And I was like, I know what this is about. And I'll tell you what this is about. I got a text from Dan yesterday at 7 o'clock at night while I was at a CVS trying to track down an employee to unlock thermometers to sell me a thermometer that's locked up for some reason.
What song was playing?
I don't know.
I'm building this playlist. It could be helpful.
Yeah, I'll go back to check out that CVS, but I had to go ask someone to unlock a thermometer because, listen, we don't need to make this political and get into insurance and all of that. But we had a whole situation. My kids have been sick. Their primary physician left the practice that they were at, so they went in, and one of the other doctors who's already seen them 1,000 times couldn't see them. We have to go to urgent care to do this thing at night because no one would see them, blah, 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 all this stuff. They tell us the head thermometers and the ear thermometers are not the ones you want. You want the arm thermometer because kids hold their heat in their head, and they would say, look, their temperature's actually 98, and my wife would then do it right in front of them in their ear, and she's like, no, it says it's 101.7. Like, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. It's a whole thing. We're arguing with people who went to medical school, and we did not go to medical school. So, of course, I then have to go and buy a new thermometer, and I think it's a very simple task. Just go to a pharmacy, buy a thermometer, and then, there's a lock on the thermometer. They have to go and they have to unlock the thermometer. And meanwhile, Dan texts me, I was thinking about this meeting from 7 hours ago. I'm like, not now. This is not the time. I need to track down people to unlock a thermometer for me. Powerball's at $850 million. I may not have to deal with any of this shit tomorrow, but I didn't win. No one won $950 million on Saturday. What are we talking about? So Fuentes texts me and I text him back. And it's not like these glowing responses. I'm like, okay, cool. Things like this.
That's gold.
I don't know what it is that he's up to
That
here.
is gold from you. Gold.
But why are they locking up thermometers? You can go and you can buy doughs left and right. Don't have to do nothing behind glass or locks on anything in these CVSs. But a thermometer? This isn't codeine. What are people going to do with a thermometer?
It's a good question.
What is the risk of a thermometer that has to be locked up?
What is your confidence level in Greg Cody being able to execute this?
He's been killing it this week. I think today's the day he fails.
It's time to put on a suit and roll out the carpet. Crank up the tube and gather near. It's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you and me again at the Sue's. The greatest of laughs, mistakes, and best revelations. And so much more. Brought to you by the greatest beer. It's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you and me again at the Sue's. to a website to vote on the sounds that brought you cheer. 'Cause it's the best time of the year, so keep your dial right here. It's me and you. It's me again and it's you. It's me and you and me again at the Sueys. That kind of thing.
The Sueys have been excellent. What are the categories we have today, Chris Cody? Because it has been very popular and people love voting on this, and it's a nice recap for the year before we get into the full flight of crazy football.
We have what I would call the best 4 categories remaining today and tomorrow. With 2 today, we will have best dismissal and best limited fake. So the best dismissals that weren't Stugotz.
So are we going to have a best dismissal that is Stugotz versus the best dismissal that's not Stugotz, or does Stugotz claim the dismissal category forevermore and there are no better dismissals than Stugotz dismissals?
There will be a winner from each of those, but I'm cool with pinning those 2 winners up against each other to
I
get.
mean, how do you stir shit against amorphous things?
The Stugotz dismissal category.
There's SUI categories, and you're pitting them against one another.
What are you laughing about? The dismissal, we need a best dismissal. It can't be there's a best dismissal. Like, this is the sake of accuracy. I'm doing this to respect the process. You do this so unscientifically. I want to know what was the best dismissal from the last year. You can't tell me whether 2. One of them is Stugotz's, and there's another one won by somebody else because we had to keep everybody out of the Stugotz category. Is it segregated? I'll put race into this if you'd like me to.
Just give him what he wants.
I just want the best dismissal. That's all I want.
All right. Well, we have a Stugotz one and a normal one, and then after we get the results, we can put out a new poll and pit them against one another.
Thank you. Billy, why are you laughing at Zaslow?
He was just like
Hey,
very
guys.
comically low. I was trying to figure out if his chair was
not
broken
on
or what's
purpose,
going
did
on.
not need to be brought up, but here we are.
Yeah.
Zaslow is he's getting very popular. I've told you for a while now, rising star in this business. College football is very good to Zaslow. He's an expert.
Yeah.
He's all over ESPN radio. ESPN flies him all over the world. Where'd you go last year?
Got that first class seat tomorrow morning, Dan. That's right.
First class.
How'd you get that?
That's right.
Yeah.
He's a rising star. I told you, look, they're flying him out. What cities did you go to last year?
Oh, amazing places.
Not having any of the clothes to go to any of those cities.
Yeah, right. We went to Madison. We went to Ann Arbor. We went to Tuscaloosa. We went to, Landover, Maryland for Army, Navy. I'll tell you, that stadium's a real dump. But we went to some really great places last year, yeah.
So
South Bend.
you are excited about what this year? Because you're about to get on a flight and head into
Columbus.
a soaring weekend. For those of you who did not listen to Mike Ryan has developed a business venture over at UM. You know he's an insider if you've been listening around here. You know he's caught in the business of UM football and also managing the space between being an information guy and being somebody who's not a journalist, who is wildly homerific on behalf of boosting for his team and raising money. He's trying to make the University of Miami football team better and has from the inside of it. So the venture you did, Mike, yesterday, this is do you guys know Hassan Piker? Are you guys
Yeah,
familiar?
he's been on our show.
Well, I guess, okay.
I don't know that fool.
Okay.
He's a commie.
Thank you, Zaz. Hassan Piker, there are a lot of people in the industry of content right now doing it very well because they can sit in front of a microphone for 8 hours and entertain you because people want their content that much, and the content makers are addicted to making it, and the people watching it are addicted to watching it, and everyone's making a lot of money off of that. So if you wanted 5 hours of hurricane talk yesterday, if you wanted 5 hours that we're not doing on this show of UM Notre Dame, the second biggest game this weekend, and I'm going to say second biggest by leaps and bounds, like just because of what you're talking about in that other game, you've got the defending champion against Arch Manning. You've got
You mean it's second by leaps and bounds behind number 1, not ahead of number 3?
I don't know. We didn't get the Fowler Herbie assignment. LSU Clemson did. Yeah. So
LSU Clemson is pretty good too, right? Because LSU Clemson, here's
4 versus 9. There's 3 top 10 matchups this weekend.
correct, more than there've ever been, and this is why Zaz is going to skyrocket even more into stardom and more first class over the course of whatever this college football season becomes. Because I'm I'm genuinely enthused to see where all of this ends up. And what you're being met with the first week is, I think Miami and Notre Dame is the third place game this week, just because in terms of what we're talking about, when you talk Clemson, they are what Georgia and Alabama, as a brand, they are over the last 10 years, what that brand is. And you're talking about today's brands with LSU and Clemson. Miami and Notre Dame, you're mostly talking about yesterday's brands, and they play on the fringes of this, but Miami and Notre Dame have not been like SEC. Oh, Alabama, Georgia, who's going to play up there? Well, Clemson's going to play up there, and Ohio State is going to play up there. Miami's been trying to get into that class for a while. They were there for a minute with Mark Richt. We all knew that wasn't real. But if Cristobal can somehow build on, it wasn't just a quarterback last year, Cristobal, because I felt like everything that happened last year is they had the number one pick in the draft. That's what covered everything else. What was supposed to be a 3 or 4 year rebuilding project, we are now on the hot seat portion of it. And the transition that you need to happen here is from last year, the quarterback carried you, and now you can get all the quarterbacks because you're a place that can make it good for quarterbacks because you're getting all of the athletes around the quarterback.
If I may, not enough credit for turning a 5th-round draft pick at best to the number 1 overall draft pick. He looked like that because of the trenches that Mario Cristobal and Alex Mirabal developed over the course of 3 years. He wasn't going to be the number 1 draft pick until he came to Miami. Yeah, you say Miami's bacon. Yes, he was Miami's best player, arguably, since Sean Taylor. But it was a mutually beneficial relationship.
I think it's also important not to forget, you know, if you're talking about LSU and Clemson being the second best game, and that's fine. I don't agree, but that's fine if someone does, because look, for all the talk of Arch Manning and he's the odds-on Heisman favorite right now, Garrett Nussmeier is number 2, all right? And he's taking on a really good Clemson team that not came out of nowhere last year, but no one had them winning the ACC, especially after they got slammed by Georgia week 1 last year. So it's super high profile, but man, like Notre Dame, national championship runner-up last year, you know?
I love this debate. It's a sportsy one. I would actually say Clemson LSU is probably the second biggest game of the weekend.
I don't agree.
Well, those are 2 teams that have won national championships inside of the last 10 years. When you lump those 4 teams together, Miami is certainly on the outside.
But there's if the average college football fan looks at Clemson LSU, are they gathering the same kind of emotions as you got Notre Dame and Miami?
Well,
like Notre Dame and Miami bring emotions.
But you're talking about 2 different age groups, though. You're talking about Clemson LSU is now Clemson was a joke, man. There's a generation that doesn't know that Clemson was a joke.
Right, like never win the big game.
Clemsoning was a thing.
Like there's a generation of fans today. What I think is happening this weekend is we can have this discussion. It's an interesting one. Hey, which do you think is the bigger game? It's a funny one.
Oh, football.
Miami, Notre Dame, or Clemson, LSU.
Miami, Notre Dame also got their own day. Like, where everyone else is playing Saturday, there's only 2 games on Sunday just building up to Miami, Notre Dame. So, like, I wouldn't take it as some sort of slight because they're not the Saturday night game.
Yeah, you have the extra juice of a rivalry to try to make up that gulf between, you know, Clemson and LSU. Both have won a national title fairly recently. Both have quarterbacks that are presumed to be first-round draft picks. So you think that the rivalry and the lure of Miami, Notre Dame can be enough. And also, I think most people think that that's going to be the better game in terms of tightly contested.
And that crowd, you know about that crowd on Sunday night? Woo!
Would you have preferred the Monday game to the Sunday game if you're UM? The Monday game feels like it's going to be a bit of a fart.
You're waiting too long if you wait until Monday.
And yeah, but Labor Day games used to be like, wow, Labor Day game, this is like a big deal. But TCU North Carolina, it just seems like.
Well, how many times did Canes FSU play on that Monday night Labor Day game?
Belichick is a bit of a fart this weekend. Belichick is a bit of a fart, is how you just described. Belichick's first.
Not?
So TCU, Deion Sanders got into the conversation on TCU.
Yes, remember when TCU played for a national title like 3 years ago?
If Belichick,
yeah, but that was 3 years ago. Now they're TCU, and you're like, oh, what is TCU going to do this year to kind of mess it up for themselves?
If you look, I can't believe I'm saying this. Okay, everything I'm saying about this is the warm up for when football really gets here in 2 years or in 2 weeks. It's going to feel like 2 years. You have Clemson, LSU, I don't know which one's bigger. Notre Dame, Miami, we can argue today's fans, yesterday's fans, whatever. I'm still telling you the number 1 game is a lot bigger than both of those because it's got a Manning in the middle of it. and now you're spanning across all the generations, and a Manning who's giving. It's official now. I've never seen this. I've never seen someone come into college football with this kind of anticipation and give me anything that looks like the quote, "The target's not on my back or our back. We got a red dot on everyone else." Deion did some of that, but now a Manning is doing whatever the Deion thing is to try and build up the program and the stardom. So you've got those three things, and it's Belichick's a bit of a fart. What if he scores 50 points against TCU the way Deion did?
Then he scores 50 points against TCU. You think this Belichick thing is going to be their schedule's pretty easy.
Their schedule's very easy. But they have a whole brand new team. Their whole team is out of the transfer portal. You really don't know how bad they could
Bit of a
possibly
fart,
be.
Billy. Belichick, a bit of a fart game.
Is it not? Who's excited about? Are you guys excited about this? I can tell you.
More curious.
I can tell you.
I'm a hate watch.
You know who agreed with me? The voters, because there's no little number next to either of those teams. So I'm not in the minority here.
The curiosity factor is going to be
Oh,
there.
yeah, you'll watch it, but you'll watch and be like, oh, yeah, this is not Bill. Oh, it was Tom Brady.
Yeah. I'm happy that we have the Sunday night games.
Are we going to have a Taylor Swift thing with Jordan? Jordan? I don't know why I did
Jordan.
Oh, yeah, where will she be watching
It's
the games
Jordan.
from?
It's not Jordan. It's Jordan.
Seriously, I
don't
always
think
thought
it
it
is.
was actually Jordan.
It
and
is
we
Jordan.
And we just made it Jordan because there was
Yeah.
an O there, and it's kind of ridiculous to see an O there. And I think Dan doesn't understand that we were doing a bit, and he just thinks it's
Mike was making
Jordan.
fun of her name all this time. It's Jordan.
Yeah,
Maybe Pablo can find out.
Did you see that they trademarked gold digger yesterday? Or they filed a trademark for the term gold digger?
Jeremy, get on that.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Jordan.
Because it's love.
If you had to bet and be right, Belichick's team's name will have a number next to it after this weekend. Yes or no?
No.
So you just have them. You just have them losing to TCU. You have Belichick doing nothing. You have this first game being what Billy just said. The first game is going to be. Oh yeah, Brady was responsible for all that with Belichick.
I guess it depends on how they look, Dan, but I don't think beating TCU in week one merits a top 25 ranking.
No, but that's what Deion. That's how Deion got into the top 25. Is it
yeah,
not?
but it was a couple months after TCU played for a national title.
But
This is a different TCU.
Yeah, but put 50 on TCU and be coached by Belichick and see if people don't just put you up in the rankings because it's interesting.
I mean, if you're giving me that hypothetical in which they wiped the floor with TCU in a standalone TV window, then
not wipe the
possibly.
floor. Win a 60-55 game. Not wipe the floor.
Bill Belichick will quit the college game if he gives up 50 points at TCU.
I mean,
he will
60
quit.
to 55
He will
is
say,
such a
"I'm done."
stupid game.
There is no way he will score 60. He won't allow it.
Right now, North Carolina's not even in others receiving votes. So they'd have to jump a bunch of teams to get to 25.
The hypothetical I'm asking you, and what you're saying is a bit of a fart of a game, is if Belichick wins the first game with a noise, you do not believe they will put him at 25.
I mean, BYU is there, Utah, Baylor, Louisville, USC, Georgia Tech. There's so many teams that receive so many more votes. TCU only received 4 votes.
I like what's the bigger game debate rather than will North Carolina be ranked.
We are so back.
Duke has more votes than North Carolina.
Hey, Duke should have been ranked at the end of the year. There hasn't been a team in 15 years that has been as good as Duke was to close the season that went unranked.
Okay.
James Madison.
I've got a number of things in this local hour that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Sorry for getting distracted by football. I imagine it's going to happen a lot over the course of the next few months. You guys, you talked in the Shadow Show about sick kids, and Mike Ryan was calling around for an exorcist for his daughter because now we're in the sick kids period of things. Like the two of you have had nightmare situations with sick kids, and I was alarmed. Mike's child is lovely. He was scared of her. He was scared of her.
She needs that exorcism?
Well, I can tell how in the old days people thought you needed an exorcist for the scarlet fever. I found out recently the scarlet fever is still around. My daughter got the scarlet fever, which is a strain of strep throat.
Yeah, what does that even mean?
Scarlet fever is awful. We've been dealing with it for 2 weeks. It started 2 weeks ago. She started vomiting. We didn't really recognize what was happening. Then a couple of days later, a rash developed on her face. And then we took her to a pediatrician that said she's post-viral. And then we were like, okay, I guess we're clear. And then her face started falling off. Oh, no. And I'm telling you, there was a moment Saturday night where I'm looking at my sweet baby girl. Her face is irritated. Skin is peeling off around her mouth. She's got bumps behind her ears. She's itchy.
I have an important question. At any point during this, did she spider walk down the stairs?
Dog, it got close. So I'm looking at her Saturday in the tub, and she's just like basically staring through the wall. And my daughter's got so much light to her. And I look at her, I'm like, baby, and she turns her head to the
Around?
left,
All
like
the way
almost
around?
all the way around.
Is it contagious, just out of curiosity?
Strep
head
is,
turning
but
around?
she's,
Oh.
she's been on antibiotics for a long time. You're good.
But scarlet fever. Is scarlet fever contagious?
Scarlet fever is a strain of strep, but again, she got infected 2 weeks ago and has been on antibiotics for a while.
Billy's very far away from you right now.
I'm worried about Billy's kids. Honestly, he's got the head thermometer thing. He's got his own shit.
So, Billy, explain to me what it is that's locked up at the farm.
Everything.
Hold on.
Yeah, let's
I'm
finish
getting
about
to
the demon
the
child.
part where I
Yeah,
thought my daughter
potentially.
needed an exorcist. So she turns her head all the way around her body to circle back 360 degrees and
That's
look
a
at
sign,
me.
Dan.
Yeah, and her face is falling off. She genuinely, in this moment, looks like Linda Blair. Her face is bad. But every time I ask her, "Are you okay?" she says, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Baby, I don't like how you're looking. You usually act happy or
You actually say to your 5-year-old, I don't like how you look.
yeah, you don't look so great," which she didn't. She looked awful. And I'm like, can Daddy take you to the doctor again? And she looks at me, and her voice, because of what's going on in her throat, sounds different. And she goes, "No more doctors." No. And I was like, I could honestly see how people without the internet, without WebMD in the 1800s said, this isn't scarlet fever. This girl's possessed because it altered her behavior. She would randomly have fits because her body's so itchy where she would just like, her body would contort and tense up and she would lose her mind. And it's an awful thing. Don't get scarlet fever, folks.
Put it on the poll, please, at Le Batard Show. Did you know that scarlet fever was still a thing? And since you mentioned Linda Blair, a fairly startling thing that name still resonates. A movie really has to be a horror for, and this still stands up. Like if you watch Exorcist today, it's still well done, and it was a 70s movie. It's an insane thing to say. But we walked in today on television, and The Devil was on ESPN. You all saw it, and nobody was reporting on it. Look at this photograph of Mel Kiper Jr. Mel Kiper Jr., you tell me that does not look like the devil. And this was before he got rabid. Like, there are better pictures of this. What happened to Mel? He got Zagaki. Like, he was burnt by the sun, but wasn't wearing sunglasses.
This is the most insane I've ever seen someone look on television.
It's not a sick day.
It's crazy.
I'm concerned. Yeah. Is this a rib? Is he paying off a grid of death punishment?
Does he warn the producers before he connects in the morning?
We did not alter this photo.
Is our TV broken?
He is this red.
This is not enhanced in any way. I walked past the television, and I'm telling you, this was before he got heated about whatever it is he was talking about, because he was spitting and yelling and stuff, and he looked like the devil. Not as much as Gavin Newsom looks like the devil, but if you painted Gavin Newsom this kind of red, he'd look like the devil the same way.
Preach.
That
Nah, he does look like the devil.
he looks like you.
No matter what side of the aisle you're on, he does look like the
you-
devil.
I got a 4-day seminar from Peter Thiel on the Antichrist coming up.
You give me the people anywhere in entertainment that look like whatever you imagine to be the human incarnation of the devil if he was trying to trick others into believing he's not the devil.
The 4-day seminar from Peter Thiel on the Antichrist is indeed a real thing. Looked it up.
He's got to be tall as well. You need the incarnation of the devil in human form. Why am I doing that, though? Because when Pacino did this in that movie where he was playing Satan, Pacino's tiny.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah, tiny. He's tiny, but Gavin Newsom's height helps him here. You got to be 6'3" or something in order to be plausibly the devil, no?
Everybody's running a con. Can I get political for a second? Here's the deal with Gavin Newsom. Don't preach at me saying, hey, these guys aren't messing around. This is the time for action. When 3 months ago you were having Steve Bannon on your podcast trying to normalize them. You're running a grift here, pal, too.
Good Twitter presence, though. Loving that bit.
Oh, yeah,
It's
no.
making people real mad.
Yeah, no, he landed on the right side of it, but there were a bunch of people saying, what the hell are you doing putting Charlie Kirk on your pod? You were trying to go the Bill Maher route, and then you realized that wasn't the play, and you fooled everybody, including me. I love the Twitter thing. I love
a
going
politician running a grift?
there. That's crazy. Come on.
I want so badly to like that Bill Maher podcast because it could be so good, but he won't stop talking.
That guy stinks.
He doesn't want. It could be so good. He just doesn't want the other thoughts of other people.
It can't be good. He stinks.
I love Dan listening to a podcast. Man, this guy won't stop talking.
No, Bill Maher is doing an interview
Solo
show.
podcast.
Bill Maher is doing an interview podcast, and he can get anyone he wants, and he won't stop talking because he doesn't think anyone's there for the guest. He thinks they're all there for him, and I would like him to get more out of the guests and fall a little less in love with his own voice. That's what I was doing.
I don't know what that's like.
You did 5 straight hours, not unlike Hassan Piker on University of Miami football. How did it go? And Billy, you've got before the fart of a game that Belichick's in.
Yeah, we got a real big one.
We got an FIU football game that Billy is covering on Friday.
Pause up.
And Billy, where can we find you when we're looking for that broadcast at one time? At what time can we find you? Where is this broadcast?
7 o'clock kickoff for FIU Bethune, Pitbull Stadium. Tickets available if you want to go and check out Pitbull Stadium. And then you can, if you want to listen to my call, you can go on the website on your phone. You can listen to the game while you're watching it live from Pitbull Stadium, South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium, I believe. I haven't got an updated notes on that situation yet. But I know last year, South Dade Kia was not in love with the fact that its Pitbull Stadium was getting all the love because it's South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium.
Maybe.
We had to say maybe. I think so. I think it's
South Dade Kia.
Yeah.
Not Kia.
The Willie Simmons era gets underway. Bit of a maybe revenge game. He was at Bethune for a while.
I like that coach that you have.
Yeah,
I
Willie
think
Simmons.
And I think that A.J. Allen's going to be the best running back in program history.
Willie Simmons has got a presence about him. I'll tell you what, the Willie Simmons show kicked off this week. You can see that on ESPN Plus if you want every week. From Twin Peaks in Doral if you want to go and check that out in person. I'm in. Yesterday was coaches meeting. We're talking to Willie Simmons. We're talking defensive coach. Oh, I'm in. And, by the way, because, and this wasn't told to me, but I kind of can read between the lines here. Because I'm doing the team broadcast, and this isn't like, when I was doing the baseball games on ESPN Plus, I don't think I need to even aspire to objectivity this season. So I'll talk to, my bosses over there and see what they say. But, I think objectivity might be out the window on these calls.
In terms of what it is that I was hoping at one point the local hour would blossom into, it has been a really wonderful thing to watch. You and Mike Ryan on the campuses that you love. Having an impact. I'm curious on this genuinely, though, Billy, because I know Jeremy's got fame at Marlins Park, and so do you. Where do you get more interaction from people at Marlins Park or when you're big man on campus
At Pitbull Stadium?
at FIU?
Oh, no one at FIU knows who I am, which is fine. It's kids. It's college. These are, 18-year-olds walking around. They don't know who the hell I am. They could care
really?
less. What's that creepy old guy doing? Super senior? Did he come back to finish school? What's he doing on campus? That's what they say when they look at me. What's Fatso over there doing? They're very rude. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not saying it, but I can see it in their eyes. I know what they're thinking about me. So I guess they're not rude. It's me thinking that they're rude in their heads, but you never know.
So you're not big man on campus
Oh,
at FIU?
no. Not amongst the student body. They don't know who I am. They could care less about me. Why would they know who I am?
Because you're broadcasting the games and because we do have young people locally in Miami who find our show very popular.
Kids are ingrates. I don't know if you know this. You don't know this as someone without children. Kids are generally ingrates. Zaz can tell you, he's nodding along. We've never been on the same page more.
I don't know if you're aware. My older son, total ingrate.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Are kids ingrates?
All of them.
All of them.
Guys, I'm sad to report. Whatever Mel Kiper had is spreading. Whoa! Because check out Dan Orlovsky on Nintendo.
What is happening at ESPN? Are the people now
Scarlet
legitimately
Fever. Yeah, Scarlet Fever.
catching fire? They're just catching fire
That
on
can't be
air.
real.
That can't be real. Did Kiper and Orlovsky go to the same yacht party?
At least, Mel Kiper's the same color the whole way. Orlovsky turns into an orange at the eyes. Yeah. It's weird.
That's the visor. That's what that is. He wasn't wearing sunglasses. He had a deck, a shade that it was over his head when he was golfing. That's what happened there, right? Or was he wearing a helmet?
People are getting ready for football season.
RED, ready.
Well done, Dan. Give yourself the Hakeem.
Mel
Nicks.
Kuiper.
Give it to him.
Mel Kuiper
If you can find it.
Mel Kiper Jr. looks like the devil. If I can find, you know what? Hold on a second.
so I
No,
was
that
talking
was
to Chris.
unnecessary. Your arrogance is out of control.
I was talking to
it's just-
Chris.
it's just unnecessary. Hold on a second. Let me
Chris
find.
found it.
Hold on. I need something. I got to find something.
You're defending yourself on
Shut up!
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, murdering the show with your bare hands in a dismemberment kit in cold blood.
It didn't go over my head. It's your general arrogance that's bothering me, and I couldn't find general arrogance on the screen. So
It
I
was
went
to
with
Chris because he's been a bumbling idiot trying to find that Hakeem Nicks laugh. It's all right. I'll go.
I don't believe that was directed at Chris. Do I have it wrong? If I got it wrong,
I felt like it was
No,
directed
you
at
do.
me.
It
You
wasn't
do have it
Chris.
wrong, but it's okay.
no. You know what? No. Is the group? Hold on. We got to
Well,
judge.
we
No,
have a
we got to
judge.
judge
Yeah,
here.
you
It
have
doesn't
to
have to
for a
be.
reason. I mean,
It doesn't have to be a democracy. We can just let Zaslow determine
Heard
what
that before.
what the penalty is here. Let's just let Zaslow
The
decide.
Honorable Jonathan Zaslow now presiding with prejudice.
Because we've never taken a penalty back before, I don't think. So if I got this wrong, Zaslow will tell me, and I will abide by his rules because he's obviously a rising power broker in the industry right now.
I'm the law. What's the case in front of me? I just got here. What's the matter with you?
My sarcastic, if you can find it, was it directed at Chris or Dan? Dan seems to think, incorrectly I might add in my defense, that it was directed at him. I was being sarcastic.
Okay,
Chris.
Judge, I'm gonna give you some context so that you can apply some judgment, even though it makes me defensive as, I guess, the defendant. This would be a historic case here where we are overturning a penalty, and I am agreeing that it was not Mike that was being arrogant here. It was me that was being arrogant. Both of us can be accused of these things in equal measure. However, the last couple of days of I made a musical guy or whatever his general arrogance is has seeped into what it is that happened. So, of course, I thought he was condescending me because he's been doing that lately.
But the charge is not arrogance, all right? Because I'm in trouble if that
The
is
charge is, hold on, here's the charge.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes, murdering the show with your bare hands in a dismemberment kit in cold blood.
But, Judge, the real comedy in it is he was accusing me of not being able to find the buttons, but he wasn't accusing me of it. He was accusing Chris of it, and then I couldn't find the right button to penalize him.
I have my ruling.
Okay.
The accused.
Who's the accused? Is
That this is the ruling.
okay?
The accused is Chris Cody. That's who was being accused of not being able to find the proper button.
All
for
right, well, then
prejudice.
I got to leave for a couple of minutes. Then
With prejudice.
I murdered the show then.
Sweet. Panthers talk coming your way.
Forgivable.
Unforgiven.
By the way, if you want some free clear stadium bags, first 1,000 students at the FIU Bethune game get those.
Hold
A
on.
little
Say that one
Roy
more
Panther.
time because these things, that's currency.
A lot of
pal.
people are giving them away this time of year. I saw T-Mobile was giving some away, but yeah, if you want to go to the FIU game against Bethune Friday, first 1,000 students get some free stadium bags.
1,000 students. Damn.
Yeah, but I mean, slip someone.
Just go wait in that line.
here. Yeah, someone that's like on a student, job thing. You do like, hey, here's $5.
Is the
Go
band
those bags.
coming for Bethune? Because they didn't come to Miami the last time out, and that really pissed me off.
I'm not certain. Let me look into this.
Because you got to pay extra for the band.
I mean, but the product on the field is going to be incredible regardless. Whew, Willie Simmons era.
Keon Jenkins and the boys.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Enter the portal.
He's
came right
good.
back. Yeah. Yeah.
Now that Dan's gone, can we talk about the Panthers front office?
I mean, were we not allowed to talk about it when Dan was here?
No.
So the thing that stood out to me, so the Panthers CEO, Matthew Caldwell, who's been with the team for almost a decade, he's leaving the team. He's signing a 10-year deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Obviously, Matthew Caldwell has done a really good job. I mean, that goes without saying. And, by all accounts, seemed like a major influence on what was going on what has gone on with the Panthers on the business side. But I don't know why this is a big thing.
It's a big thing because there was a lot of continuity in that front office, especially the business ops. They turned that business around.
Yep.
And many people would point to.
I mean, part of it, though, we wouldn't have been saying 4 years ago that the business was turned around.
I mean, as someone that was there with previous ownership groups and previous people running the business ops, I know it had a toxic culture,
Yep.
and it took them about a decade to dig themselves out of what
Yep.
Michael Yormark did there. This was a huge project by Vinny Viola, and he put the right people in place. Matthew Caldwell, for my money, he deserves that 10-year deal for the Minnesota Timberwolves because he turned the business fortunes around, he and his team. But there have been a lot of departures, a lot of guys either getting poached. I don't know what's going on. It's a little concerning because there was such a family feel to that front office. They were here through the lean years, but Sean Thornton's gone, Bryce Holwig's gone, and now Matthew Caldwell getting a 10-year deal. I don't know if Alex Rodriguez, being local, recognizing what they did over there, decides to poach Matthew Caldwell. But it's a bummer because these are guys whose names are literally on the Stanley Cup, by the way. That's how high-ranking they are.
This is just something that happens when you win back-to-back, right? That's all I'm seeing in this is we're a good team the last 2 years, so people are poaching our guys.
Yes, it's the sign. It's a great sign for the Panther fan because it's the sign that this is a great franchise. It's a really well-run franchise. But this doesn't seem to me as something that's anything to worry about if you're a Panther fan. I mean, he left for a different sport for a 10-year deal.
Well, these are the only guys that have ever done well with this franchise.
But again, it's almost like you're making it sound, okay, they've done well because tremendous business operations. No, the business operations did well because of a tremendous product on the ice.
I would disagree. I think they turned around the business before the product on the ice really turned around. And I think the byproduct of the front office culture trickled down with the hiring. Keep in mind, that front office hires Bill Zito. So I think that it's a hand-in-glove situation.
But how do you make that case? Matthew Caldwell's been there since 2016.
And that's when things started to turn around for this franchise, little by little. It took a lot to turn this ship around. So my concern in seeing these guys leave, and it's not just because I like them all personally. I think they're all great guys, and I think they're exceptional at their job. It's throughout the history of
me too,
this
by
business.
the way. Like, I'm not trying to say that they're not. It's just as a Panther fan, I don't know how this affects me.
My concern is they're the only guys that I've ever seen do well in those jobs. Yeah. So with them leaving and deserving these promotions and going elsewhere, these guys deservedly are getting poached, it would seem.
Well, isn't the most important thing is the ownership is still intact.
Well, the ownership put those guys in place, and there was a lot of Army ties there. It was very regimented. They had a first-class operation over there. You got to trust the owner to make the same kind of hires.
And now you're going to hire someone who is not walking into a disaster, like which was the case 10 plus years ago. You're hiring someone who presumably is going to be qualified, and you're hiring someone who's walking into a well-oiled machine.
I just can't believe the Panthers are now perceived around sports
It's
because
cool.
two of those guys have left for NBA jobs.
Yeah. And one of them was a hockey player.
Yeah,
How
Sean
did that
Thornton.
happen?
Sean Thornton's brilliant. He's a really bright guy, and he's been doing the business ops for a long time. But it's wild to me that, and franchises that, like the Hawks and Timberwolves, they've had their challenges too. They look to the Florida Panthers as a model organization.
Well, the Wolves' fortunes also started to change when they hired Connolly from Denver. Like they're hiring good people, this Alex Rodriguez ownership group.
When people talk about the value of franchises and how it is that you develop the macro of the biggest things that businesses need to succeed in markets as difficult as South Florida, because this is a brutal market, and really the only way to do it is to win giant. And so to see the Panthers having it is fairly startling looking back recently at sort of the amount of time I've spent doing this in this market, to see 36 years, to see all of Panthers history and have nothing good in it. Like not just Pavel Bure, but just nothing good in it for 30 years because they were just so poorly run. To see them take over the sport in a way that makes the sport do to them what people were doing to Belichick's assistants because they thought that's the reason that the Patriots were winning, it is more stunning than seeing them win the championships, to see them be the organization that is the model franchise for everyone else. Hey, what are you guys doing over there that allowed you to be better than Tampa? Because we were trying to do what Tampa was doing. How did you guys figure out all the things so that we're sending our best player into a series, and by the end of it, he's overwhelmed by the amount of depth you have because your advantages are so large in a sport where you're capped, like on some things you can do. If someone else has the best player, he should make it easy for you to build around him. Like, the Panthers have done this without the best player. They've had good players. They've got tons and tons of good players. They've got Hall of Famers, but they don't have the best player. They never have the best player.
Right, they rarely have the best player on the ice.
Yeah,
it's true.
I would have poo-pooed things like culture and business ops. I would have been all about it. It's all about the players, my guy.
That's where I'm coming from.
But having lived it with Michael Yormark, I know what a bad culture looks like, and I knew.
Oh my God, he knows.
He happens to know. And I know how destructive that could be, and how little it actually allows for you to be successful on the ice.
So let me ask you something then, because maybe a similar comp. I'm gonna run out of time here. It's a poor job by me.
Hi, I'm David Sampson. How would you like to sit down with me and talk about success in business, which equals money, and I like money. And let's face it, there's a lot of guys in baseball who could learn a thing or two about money. I'll tell you how I went from a law school guy to a newspaper delivery guy to a Wall Street guy to baseball guy to a media guy. If you're smart, great. Maybe you can imitate me. If you're not, take solace. You're just like nearly everybody else. So, you want to talk business? Think of me as your OnlyFans for rich guys.
David, you know this. This is why people don't like you. You're like capitalism in human form. But if people like you and dislike you, then you really have a show.
And I do have a show every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Be there. It's 5 days a week. Nothing personal with David Sampson.
This episode is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Zaslow is getting a bit too comfortable with his stardom, with everything happening with him. He's really, it's been quite the late career blossom, not unlike Chris Mad Dog Russo here.
How old do you think he is? Late career blossom like Chris Mad Dog Russo.
Morning radio aged Zaslow by 477 years.
I'll never get those years back. That's how life goes. You can't get years back.
Zaslow, I saw, aged more than Obama because of what morning radio did to him. The presidency was less hard on Obama than morning radio was on Zaz.
I was the president of morning radio.
Yes, he was. And one of the things that I've noticed around here, though, in him getting comfortable, and he just went up against the break there and he had a point, but he was casually, rolling his finger around while wearing Cody's jacket. And the thing that I noticed is that the smell of Zaslow singing near my ear earlier in the show still smells like the breakfast that Zaslow enjoyed. Chris, why are you mouthing, oh my God?
Zaslow, he likes to eat. That's what I've learned. If I've learned anything about Zaslow in these months working with him, my guy gets after it.
Okay, I take part in all of the meals that are given, but I'm not some glutton. I don't take seconds. I mean,
maybe more than your share.
I had more than my share. I had half a croissant egg and cheese sandwich.
The one thing you've learned about Zaslow, he likes to eat.
What a dick move.
Yeah, I learned his son's an ingrate.
And he likes the Arab fighters.
And Thai food.
Now I'm going to starve myself.
Also, he may not know what Thai food is.
I mean, Zaz is telling me all the time that he talks about what we have at his ESPN meetings. It's like the daily, what's the spread today?
I do love bragging to them at Oh, great spread.
They can
today,
tell.
guys.
Like, they can tell that you've been eating.
You think so?
Oh, they can tell.
Yeah.
How old are you, just out of curiosity?
44.
44. I did some research. So Mad Dog launched Mad Dog Radio at 49. So Dan wasn't that far off.
Oh, okay.
In terms of like late.
Zaslow right now is being flown first class. I don't know if you know what's happening at ESPN, but Mel Kiper and Orlovsky are on fire. And I told you a long time ago, Dilfer got mad because Herb Street had a plane. And they said, see you later, Dilfer. And Zaslow's got first class. It's hard to get first class. My dad still wanders around making fun of ESPN. Because he says, you know what they tried to do? They gave me a contract where they gave me first-class flights, and then they didn't send me anywhere. He said, he's like, what is that? Wait a minute. You can get my father on the phone. He'll start complaining while still taking Disney's benefits. Zaslow getting first class is a big deal. I don't think radio gives around first class to anybody.
Have you explained to your dad that maybe ESPN is also laughing? Like, hey, we conceded first class flights to a guy that we never sent anywhere. And you think you see one.
Zaslow is rising in the industry, but he's gotten to ESPN where people are burning. And he keeps bragging about the sandwiches we have around here. So that's a real victory for Meadowlark Media.
Good spread.
Zaslow, plural, good spreads.
Yeah.
And you still smell like the morning breakfast, but there is no reason for you to stick around for the lunch.
You feel like I'm having enough in the breakfast.
Well, I'm just saying I have enjoyed that you
What
have.
are we doing to this man? He has shown up here, worked hard, been a pleasure to be around, and we're throwing him under the bus. That's what we do here.
No. Jeremy, you're misunderstanding what's happening here. I am wildly grateful in general for Zaz, but Zaz is wildly grateful that anyone in radio will feed you.
I've never had a job where food was provided. Are you kidding me?
All right, fine.
Breakfast and lunch here. Come on.
But he comes through. Like, you guys know what's happening to radio, right? Like, the last bit of that was chewing up Zaslow. They were not feeding him. They were eating him.
I mean, but radio, honestly, they're sending Tom, Dick, and Jane first class. Like, they kind of deserve what they have coming.
Why did you get any Tom, Dick, and Jane when you're clearly a bigger star than Freddie Fitz?
That's not a real person.
We never got the results on that one. Freddie Fitz might be bigger.
Do you think Harry's like, how did Jane get in there?
We have not yet talked about what Lionel Messi did last night, and I made a mistake in not
25.
doing so because he scores in the 88th minute, 2 goals, and he's coming off of hamstring issues, and I know he's better than anyone in the league. I just am legitimately confused by how it is that this person has not aged like you. I understand that this isn't the best competition for him, but he's already done it against the best competition as recently as like 18 months ago, and he's still at the top of the sport, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
He's doing the things that he would do at Barcelona where, hey, we just need to give it to our best player, and he just needs to be a demigod here. So he did it at every level. Stands to reason he'd do it at MLS, but it felt inevitable. They were down late in that game to a bitter rival in Orlando.
He scores at the 77th minute and the 88th minute.
He executes a penalty, which gave Orlando a red card. And you know once he buries that equalizer, it's only a matter of time before he takes advantage of a team that's a man down and puts Inter Miami into their second Leagues Cup final. Billy, are we clear on what the Leagues Cup final is?
Is this the big championship? Like this is
No.
the one?
No, this is the one, the other one that no one is
What's
impressed
the
by
big
them.
one?
winning.
No,
What's
it's
the
Dan,
real one?
Dan, let me correct you. It's not the other one.
Is this the one they give you the serving dish for?
I think this one's a serving dish. Yeah, this one's a serving dish. But it's also not the other one. This is probably, well, U.S. Open Cup
They
has been
won this
diluted.
one already?
They did.
No.
Yes, no, they won this one.
No, not this one. The one that we're presently in, they haven't won this one.
Yeah, previously,
No,
2 years ago.
But
they won
this
at
isn't the
Nashville.
championship.
This
even though
is-
it's called the Leagues Cup.
So it's called the Leagues Cup because they share this tournament with Liga MX in Mexico.
I'm more confused now.
However, the Mexican
See?
teams are always garbage, and they do very poorly in this tournament. So the semifinals were all MLS teams. Miami played Orlando. Seattle played LA Galaxy. Seattle ended up winning their semifinal. So Messi, who didn't want to play in the All-Star game because of all this bonkers
The
travel.
All-Star game for this Leagues Cup.
Right. Now he has to hop on a plane and fly all the way to Seattle to win another Leagues Cup. So we'll see if they do that, and that's more hardware for Inter Miami and what's been a wildly successful venture. We had Taylor Twellman on and make some news last week. He said with a lot of certainty that he expects Messi in that Inter Miami uniform when that stadium opens. The expectation among Inter Miami is they've got a very good proposal out to Messi.
He actually laughed at the notion that he might not be in the stadium.
Yeah, there's a ton of confidence
Bad
that Messi will be
leverage.
here.
No, you gotta. I mean, look, it's not the most ethical thing in the world, but you got to start talking to the Saudis, right? Like if you're him, you go and you flirt with the Saudis. Like I don't know, the stadium looks nice next to that airport. I'm sure traffic's not going to be a nightmare, but you know, that Saudi money looks pretty good over there.
If there's one thing that we know, it's that Messi's not going to follow in Ronaldo's footsteps. That is not the thing he's going to do.
But the guy turned down a ton of money from the Saudis because it was like, well, I can't play for the Saudis, and then they just went and played there anyways in an exhibition
Let
game.
me correct you. Messi did not turn down a lot of money from the Saudis.
Oh.
He is an ambassador for their tourism industry, and he is collecting a lot of money from the Saudis. He's just not collecting money from them to play.
It wasn't that long ago, before we were talking about the Saudi money as it related to soccer players, that all over the globe, you would have gotten a split on who's the best player in the world, Ronaldo or Messi. It wasn't that long ago. I'm going to say 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and what's happened with the late parts of their career. When I tell you, look, I saw what Zlatan did coming over here and doing what he was trying to do for this sport. For Messi to play at the top of this one and the top of the game, while Ronaldo has cheapened himself in all of the ways, to see the separation of what wasn't that long ago a legitimate argument and now is not any kind of debate. Messi has separated himself as best in the world over this last stretch of career management. And I'm genuinely stunned when I tell you that at this age, in that sport, you're not supposed to have the legs against young people to be the one who can do it in the 88th minute. Like, that's how aging is supposed to happen. You're going to get slower and more tired, and late in the game, you're going to fade away against young legs, hungry legs. but he's still at the top of the whole thing.
It seems that he conserves himself throughout the game pretty well. Like, he does a lot of walking out there.
Yeah, on the ball, he can be quick when he needs to be. He is very smart about conserving his energy, and that's going to be how he ages with grace. He's a dynamite player, and yeah, it kind of feels – I already know this is going to get clipped for social because of the engagement on Messi and Ronaldo. So what I'm about to say may be perceived as inflammatory, but I think that debate got put to rest with the World Cup and what he was able to do then. And look, Ronaldo's scoring goals in Saudi Arabia.
What's that league compared to MLS?
Look, Al Hilal had a much further run than Inter Miami had in the Club World Cup. Al Hilal beat Manchester City. There is good quality sides there. They spend a lot of money, a lot more money than MLS clubs do on their talent. So I don't like Ronaldo fans and stands may have the ability to say he's doing it against tougher competition, and I'm not really interested in that debate. But Messi still seems to be a top 15 player in the world, and it's not just in MLS. He's still the talisman for Argentina. Everything runs through Messi, and we're going to see in another World Cup where he's going to be damn near 40, or if not at 40 years old, and he's still going to be the best player and most depended on player for Argentina.
Ronaldo is what age and Messi is what age, because I will tell you again, I will not get used to how it is that Serena and Tom Brady and LeBron James and Diana Taurasi age. It doesn't have scientific precedent before this recent time to have Messi age, to separate himself from Ronaldo at the age when these people should fall apart like Ronaldo is a greatest of all time debate. Just usually doesn't fall apart that way right in front of you while you're watching it, so that you don't even have to do the history 30 years from now. I watched when it is that Messi became the best player in the world.
Ronaldo is 40 years old. Messi is presently 38. However, Ronaldo will say himself that he's biologically 27.
The body type on Messi must help him age at least a little bit better than Ronaldo would age.
But this is a player that, especially in Europe, how do you stop Messi? You have to get physical with him. He's the best player that opposing defenders will ever see.
There was a lot of complaining last night, right, from Orlando City?
So he's been subject over the course of his over 20-year career to horrendous tackles, people trying to get a pound of flesh from him quite literally because he's small, because he's smaller in stature. People try to put their shoulder in him. So that body has taken a beating. And what we've seen in the latter stage of his career here, that soft tissue injury reputation that he's starting to develop, but he just came back to the team fresh from injury and won them the game almost single-handedly last night. He's an incredible player and probably the greatest athlete of our lifetimes, and we're blessed to be living in this generation, even though we're probably living in the echo of a universe that already died thousands of years ago.
He's not the best athlete of this generation. LeBron is.
Now that's just a different. Now Bailey's gonna cut that out.
Shohei Ohtani is.
Serena Williams, I'm an ally.
Connor McDavid is.
Connor McDavid.
Nick overrated.
Joey Chestnut.
Venus Williams.
Zazagrease.
Serena Williams.
Steve Martin also.
One of the Williams.
Billy, thermometers.
Yeah. They're locked up. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything about it. I ended up getting one. I talked to the guy. I said, hey, can you get me, please? You know how embarrassing it is to walk up to someone like, hey, I need your key to, like, unlock something. Like, whoa. And, like, the people in the store.
Why are you doing that with your
like,
voice?
Whoa, look at this guy. What's he up to? What's he going to buy here? A bunch of Sudafed or something? It's like, no, I just need a thermometer.
Why did they always – I think they still do this, actually, where they keep the razors behind the locked glass.
I mean, that one I understand more than thermometers,
Why?
right?
I need to shave my
So
face.
what is the strangest or most curious thing that you've had to, like the cold medicine is something, I don't know whether we all learned this at the same time. I don't know when this became a thing, the idea of putting a case around certain things because people will steal it to use as drugs, to use the things that are being hidden are not necessarily just the expensive things, right? They're things like razors that you could do damage with. And so what are why are the thermometers in there?
I don't know, because it was a flexible digital thermometer. It wasn't even like it had like the whatever the silver stuff is that the old ones used to have.
Mercury.
It has
Yeah,
to be
mercury.
to avoid theft.
I used to do that mercury thermometer. My mom would put it right under my tongue.
Uh-huh. Do you ever put it up to like the little lamp?
Well, like I'm Ferris Bueller?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Oh, you weren't a delinquent. Huh. If it broke, because they were glass, if it broke, did you like, oh, what do I do?
You have to run out the house.
Did you ever touch the mercury?
No,
Just a little curious, touching like, oh wow, this thing sticks together.
No, that's like poison, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe for people like you.
Put on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is the mercury inside of a thermometer poison? And also, Jeremy, look up for me when it is that drugstores started doing the thing of putting things in a case so that Billy has to suffer the embarrassment of he wants a thermometer.
It
now
wasn't
he's
a
got
case even. It was like a bike chain that they had on it or something. It was like on a
like
little,
a pen at the bank?
It was like a little, it was hanging from a little hook.
Where you can't slide it off.
And then they had like this
Right.
like lock on it. The guy had to come in. I think it was just a magnet. I don't want to tell people how to get around the locks there, but I think he just had a magnet. I think if you take a magnet, you can unlock all those locks and just get the thermometers all you want. I was watching. It wasn't like a code. It didn't steal his code. If you're going to unlock something with a magnet, there was no lock. I think it was just a magnet. Take a magnet if you need to go.
They don't
and get
work
a
underwater.
Magnets don't work underwater?
That's what I heard.
Chris Cody said something today that was both surprising and not surprising and got me to thinking. Billy just said earlier he doesn't have an inner circle. It's his wife and his daughter, and that's it.
No, I said people I've impregnated and the people that have come out of the people I've impregnated.
That is what
I
you
didn't
said.
specify.
That's your crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't specify, so it might be more than just your wife and daughter.
I just, I didn't specify.
All right, so the inner.
Don't get into my business,
you
dog.
You might have a secret family. Okay.
Can someone just show up and say you impregnated me, so I'm part of your crew now?
They could be part of the inner circle.
I have a specific look. I think I could figure out pretty quickly if I did impregnate them or not,
I think it is very hard to get into Billy's inner circle, but I think it is easier, much easier to
You
get
don't
it.
want to get in. Like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we're making this a whole to-do. You don't want to be in my inner circle. I don't want to be in my inner circle.
I've been texting you the way everyone texts you, and Fuentes is the one who gets texts back, and that's how I arrive at the at the place where I believe that your inner circle is very tight. Fuentes has bragged to everyone he got 11 texts from you, or there was 11.
No, texts in between us. They could have been 10 from him and 1 response. He was very vague about it intentionally.
Well, but he did tell the room that he had an access to you that the rest of us do not have. But Chris does this differently. Chris, I believe, his inner circle is easier to get into. However, the deepest points in his inner circle might not be as deep because Chris said, I don't have a best friend.
Yeah. It was kind of like in that inner circle talk, I was just kind of thinking, like, who's my inner circle? And I do have an inner circle, and I have friends. I'd say I have 7 to 10 friends that I'd call really close.
That's a lot of friends at this age.
But I don't have anyone that there's not one that I'm like, that's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I want a best friend.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you have a best friend? Because I think it's unusual not to have a best friend while having.
Not saying my wife. Don't. We would just let's
Right.
stop that right there. Your spouse is not your best friend.
What a loser would say that.
My wife's my best friend.
Here we go.
Who's your best friend?
Oh, boy.
Dan,
you know what he's going to say.
It was my brother.
Oh,
Not your wife.
somehow more awkward.
Not what I thought he was going to say.
That's not the question that he asked. He asked, who's your best friend right now? Yeah. That was gratuitous.
Living.
In fact, penalty box. Out of here. Not fair to do that to
I don't
people.
feel good about this.
That's not fair to do that. What? I mean, he asked him a question, who's your best friend, not who it was. I mean, like, come on.
What's the penalty?
Making us feel like shit.
All right, hold on a second. Let me see if I have that for a
I think
second.
we have that one.
Good. More of
see
Ethan's
for a
voice.
second.
4 of the 11 texts between me and Fuentes was, what time
Fuentes.
is Mystery Crate starting? Hey, come down. It's time to start. And me saying, okay. That's what you're jealous of.
Minor penalty, 2 minutes. Peste tremenda, come mierda.
All right, let's get the best dismissal. There we go. The 2025 Suey Awards are presented by Miller Lite. Cast your vote at lebatardaf.com. Winners will be announced this upcoming Tuesday, September 2nd. This is Best Dismissal.
And now, the Suey nominees for Best Dismissal. Billy Gill and Greg Cody dismissed the Savannah Bananas. It's a clown show. I eat banana ball.
You're running around wearing capes, actual capes. Look at that dimension. That left field wall is 120 feet away.
It's just a modern-day Harlem Globetrotters, which
What's wrong with that?
I thought we had all outgrown that, throwing a bucket of water on somebody, but there's confetti in there. It's not water. Ho-ho! Tom Cruise dismisses Father's Day.
Also, got to ask, Father's Day is just around the corner. What would an ideal Father's Day look like for you?
Hey, just having fun, man. Making movies, big adventure, having a great time.
Greg Cody dismisses NFL Red Zone. I enjoy watching one game at a time. Okay, I'm anti-Red Zone.
An isolated game.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's watching Red Zone. It's like a flurry of, it's overload of information, going from one game to the next and then back to here and back to there. Red Zone's showing plays that aren't even in the red zone. It's a misnamed network. I want a network that shows me the shank punt. Shank punt.
Shunts.
Yes.
Careful.
All punts.
The all punt
Why
network.
not?
I like the APN.
Wanstead would be addicted to it.
He would be. Nick Wright dismisses Tony's football analysis.
We look at the Chiefs side, and I feel bad saying this because Nick Wright is over our shoulder. We're looking at a team that if things go the opposite way, this is a laughing stock of a team that doesn't make the playoffs.
Okay, yeah. That's why Tony's on that side of the room.
No.
To not really pepper in those sports
come
takes.
on, Nick.
I mean, the thing is, like, I like Tony, but I'm just telling you, I agree that if you turned their wins into losses, their record would have been worse.
That's all I'm saying.
True.
Billy Gill dismisses Europe.
Europe sucks. I don't know if you're aware of this. Like, we keep saying, like, well, in Europe, this would happen. Europe is terrible, which is why all of us left Europe. That's why everybody's here in America, because everyone decided, you know what? Europe is terrible. Like, the English decided, the Spaniards decided, the Italians decided. Every single person came together at one point in time and said, you know what? We may not disagree on a lot of things, but we can all agree. Europe sucks. Let's just jump on this boat and see where it takes us, because we can't be here anymore. Because Europe, again, terrible. No air conditioning. Everything is old. Horrible. All they do is try to steal American culture and then tell you all of their old crap is so great. Europe, terrible. And it takes forever to get there. Forever to get there. If I'm boarding a plane for 8 hours, Europe better not be where I'm landing.
Actor Nick Turturro dismisses Bob Costas.
I can't take Costas no more.
Oh, no.
Let me watch the game. I said, I was yelling at the TV. Let me watch the game, Bob. Please, shut up. And he wouldn't shut up. He would not shut up. When I'm watching a game, he was like interrupting me. And I was just like, can you let it breathe? Please? We know you know a lot about baseball. Stop being, smarter than the game. You're not.
Bob Costas dismisses Billy Gill.
One of your limited frame of reference peanut gallery guys said at one point, I don't even know why he's called Bob. He's the kind of guy that really should have been, even in grade school, would have demanded that he be called Robert. This is what happens when you don't know jack shit, okay? Saturday Night Live, Letterman, Leno, Carson, Conan, basketball, Pootie Tang, the paper.
Yes.
If somebody knew as little, even if they were 20 years old, knew as little about baseball history, and then was talking about last night's game with no frame of reference, they'd be laughed out of the room. Laughter, that kind of thing.
Greg Cody dismisses the Oscars. The Oscars need to, it's funny they have a category for editing because they don't edit themselves. Talk about a metaphor for the night, the brutalist. It's brutal watching anything for 3.5 hours, whether it's a film or an award show. Now, Honora sounds like it's a terrible name for a film, Honora. But I didn't hear, is it a woman's name? What is Honora? It sounds like a car. I drive a Toyota Honora. The shipping container dismisses Dan for asking Gary Owen a terrible question.
Do you have a pop culture topic that everyone's seeking your opinion on these days? Any question that you're getting about what's happening in the news that is about one subject matter more than another?
I mean, everybody's asking comedians about Diddy. That's the big one right now.
Dan, you don't get to make that face.
Yeah. He warned me.
Dan's question was like, hey, what's the pop culture thing everybody's asking you? All right, talk about that.
Everyone's mind went to Diddy, right? When Dan brought up the question, we're like, okay, you're asking him about Diddy.
And your opinion on just ask him about Diddy.
There were other choices he could be making.
Kendrick Lamar's
tour. Where'd you pull that one from?
What do you think about terrorists, Gary?
Look,
senile old man.
Over 20 years, I didn't think you could get worse at tossing things up to comedians, but yet here we are.
Did he follow up or no?
David Sampson dismisses vow renewals.
You don't get a gift. I'm not going to attend. I want no part of a vow renewal of any kind. I think it's absolute horse hockey, personally. People, all right, you're in love. You're still married. What are you, showing off because the rest of us are divorced? Oh, for my 25th anniversary, I'm going to renew my vows in Vegas. Give me a break. I'm totally out on vow renewals. I think it's ridiculous.
Jonathan Zaslow dismisses Chris Whittingham's Panthers takes.
We did a month after the Panthers got eliminated from the playoffs on Spencer Knight is better than Sergei Bobrovsky.
We did.
And somehow I have the wrong take on the Panthers.
What do you mean somehow you have the wrong take? The Stanley Cup champions. Somehow he got it.
Murderer of fun over there.
Okay, but I can admit that I was dead wrong. I was dead wrong, and I'm thrilled that I was dead wrong. You're sitting there saying how the Panthers got it wrong, and they're the champions.
Greg Cody dismisses Chris Cody. Christopher, what are you reading? I'm not used to seeing you read a book. What do you read other than menus?
Wow.
I did.
Quite the dig
Did you just set yourself up?
Wow.
He did.
You set yourself up.
He set himself up for a joke.
At the expense of his son.
He threw himself an alley-oop.
I respect
dunked on
it.
his son with a fat joke.
Respect it.
Thank you. Billy Gill dismisses Wayne Huizenga.
Yeah, screw that guy. I love
Stugotz.
booing dead people.
A bell.
What?
Such a weird thing to love.
What? You love booing dead
Oh,
people?
yeah. I get the last laugh. You think you leave this earth and I'm going to forget about what you did? I will not, Wayne Huizenga.
Katie Nolan dismisses Tom Brady's teeth.
Those teeth he has might be the wrong size for his mouth. I do wish he would.
Grind
And I
them down a
googled
little.
it. You can have them. You can go back to the person who did them and be like, "Can you shave these down a little?" And I think that that'd be in his best interest. I hear his teeth when he talks.
Jonathan Zaslow dismisses emotional support animals.
I don't want to hear about the dog being an emotional support animal, though. Like, that's garbage. Like, everybody has a dog to emotionally support you. You have a dog because having the dog makes you feel good, all right? That's everyone. So the fact that you could bring your dog anywhere because it's an emotional support animal, that's bullshit.
Greg Cody dismisses people complaining about egg prices. I wander by the egg aisle. I see the eggs are, I think, $6.49 or $5.99 or something. Sizable hike, warranted. Okay, respect the chicken. They do a lot of work. You know, I mean, eggs, you can cook them 4 or 5 different ways. They're all great. Eggs have been underpriced for years. Let's quit complaining about the price of eggs. Billy Gill dismisses John Mulaney.
Learn your place, Mulaney. You're not a sex symbol. Like, enough.
Are you sure he's not a sex
Yeah,
symbol?
he's not supposed to be. I just stay in your lane.
He's forcing it.
Go write your jokes. Be your funny guy. Have that be your appeal. This sex symbol bull trying to pull. Get out of here, Mulaney, please.
He is married to Olivia Munn.
Yeah, well, he was married to someone else before.
Mike Ryan dismisses David Sampson's Marlins Hall of Fame credentials.
Do I think that when you look at important figures in the history of the franchise, am I in that conversation? I don't know how to argue against that.
Let's
Allow
argue.
me.
So
You killed baseball in this market. You don't get to be in a Hall of Fame for killing baseball.
I did not kill baseball. I saved baseball in the market, actually.
If
So
there
I
were a
would like
Hall
you
of
to
Fame
never
for
go
killing
to a game at
baseball,
Marlins
you'd be
Park,
first
Mike.
ballot.
Pete Blackburn, a.k.a. White Hat, dismisses Greg Cody for overrated column.
It's the laziest, stupidest, fucking mailed-in column that this guy probably hasn't watched a second of the Oilers this postseason.
That's columnist behavior, though.
I
love
hate
that
it.
people like this exist, though.
This is way lazier. He's not making any sort of like coherent or strong point that you can agree with.
Billy Gill dismisses Pete Blackburn.
Who cares what Peter Blackburn thinks about anything?
Yeah.
Why are
Peter
you guys
Blackburn.
here going
White hat.
to defend him over Greg Cody, who you've known for 20 years? So Peter Blackburn can come in your group chat and be like, "Thanks, guys, for having my back. I want to be your friend. I'm Peter Blackburn." Get out of here. Go to hell, Peter Blackburn.
Thank you. You know what, Billy? I'm glad you finally
Where's
speak.
the loyalty in this building? It's embarrassing. Bunch of star around here just wanting to get the big names to be your friends. Embarrassing.
Billy, this I will tell you what's
Peter
happening
Blackburn,
here. Billy.
what chaos?
Excellent.
What chaos is my question?
Yeah.
Spitting chicklets, get out of here. We don't need 2 hockey podcasts in the world, okay, Peter?
Hey,
the hockey show. That's the one I meant.
Thank you.
I guess we need 2, the hockey show.
Thank you.
Billy Gill dismisses Matthew McConaughey.
You're a naked bongo guy, right? You're not even a great actor, if we're going to be perfectly honest with you. Like, all of a sudden, now you're going to tell me how to behave as a fan? Like, shush it up.
That's where you...
Shush it up.
Have you seen Interstellar?
You're in Sing.
Have you seen Dallas Buyers Club?
You're in Sing 2.
Scott Van Pelt dismisses the TSA at the Atlanta airport.
All there was mayhem and lawlessness and chaos for the survival of the fittest. It was kill or be killed. And did we break the line? I allegedly. I popped to all of this on the podcast that we did. We came in, yes, we did. We came in a door, and where we came in, there were thousands of people. Ohio State, Notre Dame fans, all of whom were incredibly pleasant, by the way. I enjoyed meeting all of them in the 3 hours we stood the TSA line waiting to get through. Go to the clear TSA line, they say. Sure, like that's the cheat code. I don't know. No shit. I know where to go. There's nowhere to go. So I'm standing there, and there's no one's helping. No red jackets helping. And we look and we say, this isn't going to work. And I'm like, wait, is this even a line? Let's go down there and see. And so we wandered down towards a different door where if you came in that door, you just blended into the line because there wasn't a line. So that's what we did. And if that's against the law, then I am guilty as charged.
Chris Cody dismisses Josh Allen's pistachio farm.
The fourth quarter, your little filler when we're down 21. I don't give a shit about Josh Allen's pistachio farm. Look at this thing. It's endless.
I thought that was fascinating. I had never given pistachio farms any thought before then.
Who needs a pistachio farm? I just hated all of it. Just ridiculous. Get that thing out of my face. That's for like a Sunday pregame show on ESPN. That is not for fourth quarter when you're up 21 points.
I'm reading a story here.
Farm.
He's doing it for a second income stream.
Oh,
I mean,
please.
Yeah.
That's the most obnoxious story I've ever heard about a player in a game.
Really impressive.
He has a pistachio. If you look now, he has a pistachio farm.
His family business is farming.
Out of here.
Greg Cody dismisses Gary Furman.
Am I wrong here when I say that Gary Furman was one of the chief writers on a staff that would have been considered the best in America?
No, you're not right. Chris Cody dismisses notaries.
Are we still getting things notarized? Is that still a thing? Yeah. That was always a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
My friend's mom's going to stamp this paper, and now it's official.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, Steven's mom. That's the difference here. Stupid process, always. My whole life, I'm just like, what? I have to get this, get it signed by who? Something official? Courthouse? No, not a courthouse.
Really?
Just Jack's mom?
Your whole life, huh?
somebody who's got ink in an office.
Now I can do something. Now I can go on this field trip. Because this has been notarized.
You know.
Let me get one of those stamps. I'll be a notary.
There's a process.
What's the process? You sign up, you pay $50, and all of a sudden I'm a notary.
No, you can't buy a stamp. I don't think it's a labyrinth either, but you have to fill out some paperwork.
Look it up. Jeremy, I want to become a notary this week.
Okay.
Jessica Smetana dismisses Halloween in Miami.
It's not spooky at all in Florida. It's 100 degrees. There's no giant skeletons. There's no jack-o'-lanterns. There's no little kids in costumes.
Just cafecito.
It's
That's
just
it.
hot all the time, and it's
cocaine.
not spooky. Oh, you're gonna trick or treat and get like heat stroke walking around your neighborhood, little kids, because it's Miami and it's so effing hot here, and it sucks, and it's not spooky, and no one has fake cobwebs on their shrubs because there's no nature here.
Everybody does.
Just
You've never seen
sucks,
it.
and it's not spooky at all. Where are the 12-foot skeletons?
Go to a residential neighborhood. Go to a residential neighborhood.
Skeleton
You don't
in
live
Florida
residential.
in my entire life.
This feels like it's about more than Halloween.
Billy.
Unbelievable. Holy Billy, I did not realize that you had such a year. Like Bob Costas, Europe. I saw you.
I didn't dismiss Bob. Bob attacked me, if anything.
I saw you squirming in your seat, but also with a giant smile on your face as you took out Bob Costas.
Robert.
And Bob Costas remembered the quote specifically on how it is you took him out, and then gave you his resume.
You want to know a story about that I got from a text from an insider? So we're friends with Adnan Virk, who works with Bob Costas at MLB Network. And I heard that afterwards that day they were in the makeup room at MLB Network headquarters, and Bob Costas turned to Adnan. Adnan's like, "I heard you on the show today." Kind of, he's like, "Yeah, did you hear what I said about that kid or something like that?" And Adnan's like, Bob, I feel like he kind of proved his point, though, by going on that rant that you couldn't laugh at yourself. He's like, no, I scorched him. He's like, okay, great.
Can you play that for me, please, Chris? Because I want Billy. Please put the camera on just Billy, because he was funny in the penalty box to watch him sinking into a seat because he knows that this broadcast, he infuriated this broadcast.
Nothing makes me happier than upsetting legends. I got to be honest with you. There's no people's time I like to waste more than important people, especially self-important people. Not that I'm saying that about Bob.
No.
One of your limited frame of reference peanut gallery guys said at one point, I don't even know why he's called Bob. He's the kind of guy that really should have been, even in grade school, would have demanded that he be called Robert. This is what happens when you don't know jack shit, okay? Saturday Night Live, Letterman, Leno, Carson, Conan, basketball, Pootie Tang, The Paper.
Yes.
If somebody knew as little, even if they were 20 years old, knew as little about baseball history, and then was talking about last night's game with no frame of reference, they'd be laughed out of the room. Laughter, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. I love that part.
You crushed that category, and I did not realize that we might have a challenger to a Stugotz dismissal this year. So do you have a favorite? Does anyone have a favorite from among the dismissals? Because the way that he took out Europe was pretty fantastic and came out of nowhere, and is exactly how the person who loves Disney World as much as Billy loves Disney World, it's how they attack old things.
Dude, I could visit all of Europe in one day at Disney World. Yeah. Just go around Epcot, and I could drink around the world.
Parts of Asia as well.
5 steps, yeah, all around the world.
Can you guys get for me again, please, the commercial for David Sampson that we played during one of the breaks here? Because David Sampson is actively pressing on trying to bother people and enjoying the bothering of people. So I ask what you guys think. What do you guys think of this intro for first ballot Hall of Famer killed baseball in Miami?
Hi, I'm David Sampson. How would you like to sit down with me and talk about success in business, which equals money? And I like money. And let's face it, there's a lot of guys in baseball who could learn a thing or two about money. I'll tell you how I went from a law school guy to a newspaper delivery guy to a Wall Street guy to baseball guy to a media guy. If you're smart, great. Maybe you can imitate me. If you're not, take solace. You're just like nearly everybody else. So, you want to talk business? Think of me as your OnlyFans for rich guys.
David, you know this. This is why people don't like you. You're like capitalism in human form. But if people like you and dislike you, then you really have a show.
And I do have a show. Every Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. Be there. It's 5 days a week. Nothing personal with David Sampson.
So sinister.
Who goes from law school to being a paper boy?
It's a weird trajectory. Can we be
I
honest?
see, like, we honestly were heading in the wrong direction until Mommy got married. He works hard. Who said that?
We're going back to Ohio. But this time I'm ready. Don't look at me like that. They're real tears. 1 second, I am with the camera, framing the shot, the perfect and glorious shot. And the other second, pow! Blind! Pepper spray in my eyes! My vision was gone. My dignity was gone. And Lucy just was laughing. Laughing, running, and filming. I had 19-year-old athletes taking care of me and walking me like I was a war hero. And I still think I was a war hero. We're going back, and this time, prepare. Bring it on, Ohio. Oh, and if you see a fatty with a pepper spray, throw them roses. Do you think ESPN will buy my biopic?
I don't know how much, Jessica, how often she hears I've missed your voice, but hearing her at the end of Dismissal sneak in there with some genuine rage about Halloween not being spooky enough brought me great joy and brought a challenger to what appears to be Billy's category now of Dismissal because of how Billy owned the Dismissal. Jessica, did you hear any of that?
I was listening to it, and my question is, was I okay?
You were angry. You were angry at the time. It was Miami traffic. It was understandable because it wasn't also spooky Halloween.
Yeah, the answer is no. You lived in Miami.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like I was doing well last fall.
Yeah, and the Billy, though, dismissal category, did you remember that kind of hostility? Because Billy doesn't seem, as it regards Europe, like he's doing very well.
Jess, was that after the Northern Illinois game? That might have been Northern Illinois week.
Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think that would have had anything to do with it. I think it was more so because Miami's not spooky. Actually, yeah, now that I think about Willow just kicked my computer. Did you see that? That was so cute. Oh my God, she's just stretching out on the bed. No, I just think it's because Miami wasn't spooky and it sucked in. I guess after 4 years, I just, really all hit me.
Is the Miami football team spooky this weekend to you as a Notre Dame fan?
Spooky? No, I think they're really good, though. I think they have a real shot at winning their opening game. So I would say, as I did on the Canes Insight Hurricane show yesterday, why didn't you just call it like Hurricane? Like, why did you make it Hurricane? I think it's going to be a good game. Okay. Yeah, I will not do that, actually. I'm good. I did love Billy's dismissal of Europe. That was top tier. I think that's what I would vote for, other than myself, of course.
Do you hate Europe as well, or?
Well, my great grandparents certainly did.
No.
You seem like what?
I'm just confused why everyone's bringing up dead relatives today. Honestly,
It was
disarming.
I used to have a best friend. He was John Partridge. He didn't die. He just moved away.
Oh, yeah.
I had a best friend die too, Dan.
Chris doesn't have a best
I
friend.
don't even have
That's
one.
a benefit of not having a best friend.
Would you rather have a best friend who died or never had a best friend at all?
My mom was a drug addict.
Great question, Shakespeare.
Je-
My best friend is like my mom because I don't really have a mom.
Jessica, do you have a game we can play? Can we lighten it up around here a little bit? Do you have anything that can lighten up the proceedings a touch?
Yes, I do. I actually have I'm bringing back an old classic, Dan. It's called Brit or Knit.
Did this rise to the level of classic?
It's a classic.
I don't.
It is a classic.
People are longing for this.
I don't feel like
Everyone
why is
has
this a
been
classic?
texting me and saying, please bring back Brit or Knit. And I thought of the perfect reason for it. And we're going to talk more soccer because Man U lost to a League 2 team in the League Cup. And the name of the team they lost to was very silly. So I said, let's bring back Brit or Knit. I'm going to give you a few names. Dan, you're going to tell me Brit, yes, that is an English soccer team, or Knit, that is not an English soccer team.
Okay, look, Mike likes this game. All right.
Dan's going to be so bad at this.
I figured he would.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with this one. Dan, Brit or Knit? Grimsby Town.
No, that's not. Are you? Well, are you? Yeah, I'm going to say that that's too creative to not be a team. So I'm going to say yes.
Brit.
That is correct. Grimsby Town is the team that beat Man United yesterday.
All right. So, but I'm guessing though. I'm
you,
obviously not going to know any of these.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. Shepherd's Bush.
No, that's not a team.
Knit.
You're right. That is a tube stop.
Can you play the game right, please?
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I'm playing the game. All right. So
Brit or knit. The rules are pretty
All right.
simple.
All right.
It's a classic.
All right, my bad.
You're right. Actually, you lose on that one because you didn't say knit. Okay, we'll move on to number 3. Accrington Stanley. Brit or knit?
Knit. That sounds more like a law firm.
It is, in fact, an English soccer team. You are incorrect.
Oh, okay.
That is Brit. Cockfosters Football Club, Dan. Brit or knit?
He said Foster's.
I am going to say Brit.
That is incorrect. Cockfoster is one of the most famous British tube stops because it's Cockfosters.
Right.
People laugh at
the
that.
Foster. It's the Foster, right.
Okay, we can move on from Brit or knit, Dan. It doesn't seem like you're doing very well at it.
We don't need to move
more.
on. Mike is
Okay, I'll give
Mike's,
you one
Mike's
more.
enjoying me just sinking into not knowing why it is that we're playing this game.
Fosters.
It's just funny, silly names. Okay, I'll give you one more. Brit or knit? Tooting Broadway.
Look at the smile on Chris Cody's face.
I'm just like, is he going to say Brit or knit? He's not. He's just going to say no.
All right, Brit.
False.
Incorrect. Also a tube stop. So it is Brit, but not in the spirit of the game.
Okay.
You are really bad at that, Dan.
Yeah, you knew I would be, and
Yeah.
that's the Jeremy, what's wrong? Are you okay?
It's just amazing. How are you so incapable of saying the right word? There's 2 words.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Well produced, Chris. You found that.
Well
button.
done.
So a classic is what this game has been. When did we play this game before?
I believe it was during the coronation of the King of England that we played Brit or knit with the members of the coronation party that were going to attend the coronation.
It's a classic.
Did we ever play?
Like the Duke of Brickle-Brackle, I believe, was one of them. That was a knit.
That's not a real place.
Mel Kiper Jr., turn that music off. Mel Kiper Jr., let's put this picture up again. Mel Kiper Jr. has said this morning on Get Up, while looking very much like the devil, that the Ohio State-Texas game, quote, 48 years I've been covering college football, never remember a game as anticipated as this one.
Can we just add in real quick, too, how the AP really screwed this thing up? I mean, you got to go number 1 versus number 2. Penn State sneaks in at number 2, so it's 1 versus 3. Jess, I mean, come on. The AP, get your act together.
Can I just say that hyperbole is an epidemic right now? There is just... I am excited to watch this game. I am excited to see Arch Manning. Do not get me wrong. This is an important game. Texas, preseason number 1, as an underdog on the road to start the season. It's very exciting. I think both teams will be very good this year. However, we can't just say, this is the most highly anticipated football game, blah, blah, blah. Like, we say that about everything, and we just need to end the hyperbole. You don't need to try to sell people on Ohio State, Texas. People will watch it. We know it's a big game.
I just think that this is the myopia of Kiper. He gets to see a Manning, and so he gets to make an analysis against a champion and start seeing how valuable he gets to start the examination of the thing that he loves to do most, because we don't actually know what Arch Manning is, and he's dying to find out. That's why he's doing that, because in that respect, we can agree, right? This has never happened before, where a guy who's been waiting for 2 years that we've been talking about, who descends from royalty is going against the defending champion.
100% in terms of like being able to see an attraction. This is as hyped a debut as we could possibly see, even though he played some last year. But to Jess's point, there were like 3 Alabama LSU games that happened fairly recently that were all much bigger and called games of the century.
Right. I think the Manning name, we are all obviously very excited to see. But I think if you want to even talk about another game on the same day where you're seeing a potential future first-round talent playing against another potential future first-round talent just at quarterback. You have LSU and Clemson. So, like, there's just a lot of really good games this weekend, and I think it is a big game. I'm not saying Mel Kiper's wrong, but I think the Manning name is doing a lot there. But there's a lot of great games, and there always are a lot of great games. That's why college football is great, because there's such a high volume of games happening. I mean, we're gonna see Bryce Underwood start this weekend. We're gonna see Bill Belichick coach his first college game this weekend. Like, I don't want to spoil my top 5 list that I have. I am a little bit more excited for that than I think even the Notre Dame game. Like,
wow.
Seeing Bill Belichick in his cutoff shirt will just tickle me. Okay.
I'm excited to get to that top 5 because we were having a discussion, and I might surprise you. As big a homer as I am for the University of Miami, I would concede that I think Clemson and LSU is a bigger game. They got the Fowler-Herbie assignment because of the 2 quarterbacks, because of the fact that they've recently won national titles, where Miami's still trying to scrap their way into that conversation.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one, and also one where, like, the loser is going to feel really bad because Clemson last season, they snuck their way into the playoff via the ACC route, even though they lost to 2 SEC teams and couldn't beat South Carolina or Georgia last year. So they're going to feel bad if they can't beat LSU, especially because LSU's defense has been an issue, and Clemson feels really good about Cade Klubnik starting another season and having improved a lot the last 2 seasons. But LSU hasn't won a season opener with Brian Kelly. So I don't know if he's going to pound on the table again if they lose. I don't know how he's going to top that if they lose. But I think both teams would feel bad if they lost, and also neither would be that impacted because it's a non-conference game. But I think, feelings would be hurt. Things would be bad.
It doesn't seem like that, though. The way that you described it is there are no real consequences.
Well, there are, especially because, like I said, I think for Brian Kelly, like, Dabo has a lot of job security. It doesn't matter. But Brian Kelly, I think, he won the SEC West a couple of years ago, and he has had tons of talent on his offenses, but he needs to put it together on the other side of the ball. And so I think that, I think LSU fans would certainly be upset if they lost to Clemson on Saturday.
We'll get to your top 5 in a second. We'll get to the week 1 games in a second, but I want to go back to Hawaii and Stanford. Again, I will say, I assume that Andrew Luck will be good at that job, but they lost to Hawaii in the first game and lost with a kicker who learned how to kick on YouTube. Anything else from that game that you found interesting? Anything else from the games being played other than Avery Johnson's father fighting his other son that you found interesting?
My gimmick.
I have 2 things I want to talk about from last weekend. First thing, we found out this week, Kansas State and Iowa State, the Farmageddon game. Everyone's like, ooh, Farmageddon. That makes me really excited to watch Farmageddon. Wow, love that. Cool, rivalry. Maybe you don't know a lot about Kansas State and Iowa State, but you're like, it's called Farmageddon. Apparently, the schools told ESPN, do not use the name Farmageddon.
They hate it.
Like, Reese Davis said on his podcast the other day, he's like, yeah, they asked us not to say Farmageddon, which is kind of BS, because why? Like, you think it's, like, offensive? Like, are you embarrassed about the farm part? Farms are cool. I don't know why that would be a no-no. So that's questionable. But also
put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Are farms cool? Because I don't think it's offensive. Like, what's the problem? Why would you be offended by Farmageddon?
What is this, a Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really strange. And they're also, both teams are in the same conference, but yet the game is not scheduled in conference play in 2027. So that's weird. Like, are they trying to cancel this series? Because they've been playing this series for over 100 years. It's one of, like, the most long-standing rivalries.
There's no theory from anybody on why it is. Like, no, when Reese Davis is saying this, why would they object to the term Farmageddon? It's funny and clever. Are we looking down on farms
I
now?
think they're looking down on Armageddon. I just love how dialed Jess is because she's listening to Reese Davis podcast. Yeah.
College Game Day podcast. I think it's like Reese and Pete Thamel, but I don't know. I really don't know. I saw like some random fan posted this Farmageddon graphic from last year where it was like both mascots on a tractor and then crashing into each other and exploding. And they were like, maybe they want to dial back on like the, violent farm imagery, but that doesn't seem like that can't be it, right? I don't know.
I'd love to know. We got to get Pablo to find out. What was the other game? The Hawaii-Stanford game had something in it that you found interesting?
Yeah, the Stanford game had a 5th-year Stanford player who transferred from Yale have a big tackle for loss in the first half against Hawaii, tackled their quarterback, put Hawaii, a little bit out of the end zone, I guess a little bit out of the red zone. So it was a big play. It was a big play. And the Stanford player was like, I'm going to celebrate this by doing a TikTok dance. And he proceeded to do the TikTok dance for probably several seconds longer than is allowed, and also was very sensual in doing this TikTok dance, which is imitating a 5th grade Indonesian boy dancing on a boat, Dan, which I know you knew, but I figured I would say anyways.
I wish we could show people it. Like what describe
Chris Cody actually.
Yeah, Chris
go ahead,
Cody
Chris.
can do
Chris,
it.
you got it.
And look, and this is not.
But make it
dissemination.
sexy. Make it sexy.
That's how his dad dances. Wait a minute. What was that?
Oh,
at the
boy.
end?
Somebody make it
was-
sexy?
Yeah, she did tell you that, and you immediately did. By
Well,
the way.
because the dance was sexy.
He made it sexy, and he got penalized, and then Hawaii scored on the next play. So
And ended up
I
being
think
the
it was-
difference. A little bit.
it was a 3-point game. Hawaii's kicker, who learned how to kick on YouTube videos, he's from Japan and learned how to speak English playing football in Ohio, came in and kicked the game winner. So I think Stanford's they're going into the season. I think their wins total was like 3.5, and like it's tough to find 4 games on their schedule, especially now that they lost to Hawaii. And I believe their total is gonna go down to like 2.5. Mike, you can check me on that on the sports on DraftKings. But man, it's not looking good for Stanford. This is going to be a tough year for GM Andrew Luck, I think.
When Mel Kiper says that Ohio State, Texas is the most anticipated game in a half a century, I want to ask the group here, what do you guys believe to be the single most interesting thing from the weekend? Or if we were trying to do 5 things from the college football weekend that's upcoming that you have an interest in. The top of the list is one player, not a team.
Lee
correct?
Corso.
Okay, so it's Lee Corso over Arch Manning.
Willie Simmons debut.
Yeah, Lee Corso.
I'm excited for the USF Boise State game tonight.
It's a great game.
Off at 5:30, and it's in Tampa. And USF's only a 5.5-point underdog, which feels a little low considering Boise State was in the playoffs last year.
Feels
Dan,
trappy.
But they lost Ashton Genty, and then after that, USF has to play Miami and Florida in the next 2 weeks. So they've got a really tough non-conference schedule.
I'm looking forward to seeing what this mess at Ohio Stadium's all about. I've never been there before. I want to see if it's all cracked up to be.
Really? You're going to go judge it? You're going to be the judge?
Yeah.
You're going to be the judge of whether
I'm
it's
gonna
cracked
judge.
up. You're going to judge whether it's cracked up to be.
They're going to dot that I, whatever the hell that means, But I'm going to be there. I'm going to tell you if it's all it's cracked up to be.
You sound like you're going in like a cynic. You don't think it's all it's cracked
Maybe
up.
I am.
Okay, well, so since we're speaking of the fan experience, Jess, we were playing earlier this week on your own podcast, Echoes, which you do with Mike Golick. And
The
again,
Echoes.
I will tell people again that if you want if you want like a die-hard coverage of the things that you want that is really informed, you're not going to get a lot better Notre Dame coverage than you are with whatever Jessica and the Golicks are making. But Ian Book was on your podcast.
What do you say?
And Ian Book, Mike Ryan thinks, you tell me whether we have this accurate, because Mike Ryan says you were trying to talk Ian Book off the position that Hard Rock Stadium is indeed a difficult place to play. So you tell us what's really happening here. Are you trying to talk him off the position? Because Mike thought you were thinking of him while this was happening.
And then it was so loud, couldn't hear anything. And then I remember like actually having a pretty good drive when I went in there. I threw a whole shot to Equinemius, started to drive down the field, thinking we'd maybe get 3 points or something before half, and then threw a pick 6. Welcome to the turnover chain. So that was my experience, but it was hostile. And I remember until we went down to Georgia, it was the loudest place. Honestly, it might be louder than Georgia.
Wow.
I was like top 2 loudest places I've ever played in my career.
Louder than Michigan?
Yeah. Louder than Michigan.
Blacksburg?
Louder. Yeah.
This is a really good follow-up question, because off the top of my head, I remembered 2 other college football stadiums that Ian played on the road. And I was like, hey, I should follow up and ask him, are you sure? Do you remember the Michigan game that Notre Dame lost by a lot of points? Or do you remember the Virginia Tech game where everyone's like, this is going to be the toughest road environment you ever played in? I thought I was asking good follow-up questions there, but I guess not. I guess I'm a dumb idiot. Whatever.
I mean, you said it. There was probably two follow-ups too many. I mean, he said it was even louder than Athens.
She's just listing loud things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, loud places that specific person played in. But I think, Mike, I understand that you're very sensitive about people shitting on Hard Rock and that you have to keep bringing up a game from 8 years ago to prove that it's a loud stadium, and that like that's fine. If you can use this as bulletin board material, go right ahead. It doesn't matter to me if that is the loudest stadium Ian Book played in.
Oh, your face
I actually
tells a different
don't-
story.
My face is like the same as Gojo's face throughout this entire clip. Whatever, I don't care. If you want to do facial analysis of me, that's fine.
Yeah, it totally
you need
gave off that you didn't
content.
care.
I get it.
In her defense, Ian Book was saying something that begged follow-ups because it's not something a lot of people say or believe. Like it's certainly not the reputation that Hard Rock has.
It's a reputation of that 2017 game.
Why would I want him to say Michigan's louder? Like I don't. That's actually
because it's not
Notre
Miami.
Dame
And we already
rival.
established you hate Miami. So it's all right. It's okay.
I hate
It's
Michigan
louder
too.
than a
Whenever
jet
I ever
engine.
talk-
Louder than when
I
Stone
would
Cold Steve
never
Austin
live
comes
in
out.
Michigan.
Louder than when John Cena returned at the Royal Rumble.
No, Jess, I totally
I like
agree with
Miami
you.
more than Michigan. I'll give you that.
I totally agree with you, though, Jess. Like, it's pathetic. Who would hang their hat on the 2017 season as if that's something that's still relevant right now? I cannot understand what type of program
Zazzle
would
has
do
a
that.
problem with the shirt you're wearing. Zazzle
With
came
my
in,
shirt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zazzle came in here. Zazzle came in here and
For
whispered
the 2017 National Championship
Zazzlo
UCF Knights?
Zazzlo came in here
Balls.
today and whispered under his breath, "Punk move."
Balls, Jeremy. We were just talking about this a couple weeks ago, making fun of Auburn, who's claiming national championships from the early 20th century. I mean, I know we all know that 1910 Auburn team was a wagon, all right, but they're
They
claiming
weren't.
championships.
They actually, I did a deep dive into this, Zazzle. You could check it out on my TikTok. I went into the 4 national championships that Auburn claimed. 1910 specifically, I believe that was the year in which they were 6-1 and lost to Texas on the road. And then the 1914 title they claimed, they had a tie against Georgia Tech, who was in the SEC at the time. And both years there were teams in the Willow just kicked my computer because she's so cute. There were teams that had better records than Auburn that were selected as national champions by like the computers or whatever.
I'm glad you did a deep dive there because I remembered that 1910 team differently, Jess. So that's a good job out of you right there. But I'll also say this to you, Jeremy, as someone who I went to school at UCF. I went to UCF, all right? I did.
You went to Santa Fe.
Okay,
You went to UCF. I didn't
Gainesville,
know
I
that.
thought you
did.
went to.
Okay, there's a lot of misinformation
Santa
being thrown
Fe.
out here, and I
New
can settle
Mexico?
this real quick. I started my collegiate career at UCF. I was there for a couple years.
Couldn't
I
cut it.
transferred to UF. End of story. Graduated.
But you
Boom,
root for
the
UM
end.
and UF.
When'd
but
you go
not
to
UCF.
Santa Fe?
Never. If you had a gun
Mike
to my head
says-
and said, Zaslow, take me to Santa Fe Community College right now, or I pull the trigger, I'd be dead. I have no idea where it is.
I think you'd be lying. How about Blacksburg? How about Michigan?
I didn't go to these schools. What's wrong with you?
Dan, while you were gone, Auburn woke up one day and just claimed like 14 national championships across different
Yeah, they learned from the
sports.
best.
Oh, can I tell you about the other two? So they also claimed 1958, which was the year that LSU
was a
won
good
the
team.
national championship. And LSU and Auburn were in the same conference, but they didn't play against each other. And LSU was undefeated and beat Clemson in the Sugar Bowl, and they were voted number 1. This is the AP and coaches poll era. So they won the national championship, and Auburn's claiming that actually that one's ours too. That one I don't really understand quite as well. I think that there was some modern computer that ranked that as them as number 1 that year, so they're just going to retroactively claim it, which whatever, fine. But actually I think the 2004 one is pretty interesting, Dan, which you I'm sure remember because this was like during our lifetimes. Auburn is similar to UCF, Jeremy. They
I
weren't
agree.
chosen by the BCS to play in the championship game. That was Oklahoma and USC. And so they are just like, well, we went undefeated in all our games, so we are just going to claim the national championship because we didn't get a chance to play for the title. So I kind of, that one, I could get behind a little bit.
You know what the shirt
but then
says?
it validates Jeremy, so maybe not.
The only 2017 undefeated champion.
So what? I mean,
The only undefeated team in the country.
It's so lame. We're a national champion shirt.
They're a champion.
When you did it with Miami Hurricanes, then 2000 national champion. There you go. I gave it to him.
But Zazzle, the national championship
There you
is
go.
like a made-up thing. That's why
It's an
Auburn is
invitational.
doing this, because
6 titles.
Historically in college football, no one played for a national championship until like very modern history, and then everyone voted on it for a really long time. Like you would just, if you were Greg Cody, you'd just be like, I'm voting for Miami, and that's how people won the national championship. This modern era of national championship obsession is very unique to the very long, over 130-year history of the sport.
You know
and
what?
I would like to just say that is why I try to focus on things like Farmageddon and Hawaii and making fun of Stanford and their stupid tree when I can, because they don't get enough attention because everyone's just like, Texas and Ohio State, blah, blah, blah.
You know what? I'm giving the Canes the O2 Fiesta Bowl, too. That Terry Porter, he was sus as hell.
Oh, nice that you had something going on this century in the
That
last
game
20 years.
was played. You just don't agree with the result. That's different.
Sus.
You
Sus.
lost the game.
Well, I
you know
didn't
who
do
didn't
anything.
lose a game?
You went to Santa Fe.
UCF.
Bullshit.
Crazy that they're hanging on to 2017 when
We're
they weren't even
gonna
the best
get-
team in their own state.
We're going to get to Best Limited Fake in a second, and I was hoping to get Jessica's reaction to Greg Cody's insane anger, but we have to get to her top 5 because we don't have much time left. So let's do this. What is the top 5 about?
The top 5 is top 5 teams I'm excited to watch that aren't projected to make the playoffs. How about that? Wow, synergy.
You guys, I asked you most interesting thing from the weekend, and you gave me a bunch of answers that weren't Belichick or Arch Manning or anything involving the games on Saturday even.
We said the game's starting with tonight, Dan.
Yeah,
We
first
get to watch
frost tonight,
USF
Dan.
and Boise State.
UCF Jacksonville State. You don't want to see first frost 2.0,
Oh my God,
the second
what?
first frost?
Is
Billy
it
Simmons
UCF could
tomorrow.
lose.
Scott Frost is back.
I got a strong 20 on Alabama FSU.
Number 5, Jess.
I mean, I think Alabama may be a sleeper this year. Number 5, Nebraska. So they're playing this weekend at Arrowhead Stadium, which is like Dylan Raiola tried to get a game at Arrowhead Stadium. Like, this is taking it too far. I actually looked into it. This is Cincinnati's home game that they scheduled at Arrowhead. So that is not why they're playing there. They snapped their 7-year streak of losing seasons last year. Dana Holgerson is the offensive coordinator. Their defense was really, really good in 2024, but they lost a ton of players. So TBD how good they really are, but I do think I'm intrigued by Dylan Raiola as a talent and to see if he gets any better, and maybe can pull off an upset or two this year in the Big Ten.
Number 4.
Number 4, South Carolina. Now, some people do consider them a playoff sleeper. I think that their schedule is very difficult, but I do love Lenora Sellers on their quarterback, and I do love Dylan Stewart, who is an edge rusher on their defense. They did lose a good amount of solid defenders last year to the draft, but they're also not the best offensive line, Dan. But Lenora Sellers is very fun to watch. He's one of the most exciting quarterbacks, I think, who's flying a little bit under the radar going into this season. Finished the season really strong last year after being hurt for a few games, so I'm excited to watch South Carolina.
Number 3.
Texas Tech.
So much money they've spent.
They've spent a lot of money. We'll see if it works. I mean, it's the Big 12. The margin between the top 6 teams is pretty small, so maybe it will. Maybe they'll be a playoff team after all, but either way, I'm excited to see how it all comes together.
Number 2.
Vanderbilt.
Really?
The Doors. Dan, Diego Pavia is back for another season. He had to do some little court action to get back on the field for this year. And they've got a really great tight end. And I love Clark Lee, their head coach. He's a phenomenal coach. And so will they be bowl eligible for the second season in a row? I don't know, but I would love to see them make a splash in the SEC and maybe have a couple more upsets this year. At the very least, beat Hugh Freeze again.
And finally, number 1.
North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened, Chris? You forgot?
He was looking for the splash.
I mean, Dan, here is the generous case for North Carolina. They play some of the worst ACC teams this year. They play Stanford, Wake, Cal. I love Cal. No disrespect to Cal. I'm part of the Calgorithm family. But their ACC schedule is not that difficult. I don't know if they're going to beat TCU. But then they go on to play Richmond and Charlotte for their next 2 games. So I think it could be a fun season for old Billy B.
On Monday, I will tell you that's Labor Day. Mike, why are you and Billy laughing the way that you're
Chris is just
Splash.
screaming. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
Chris was screaming for 20 seconds. Where is it?
Jessica, we will talk to you on Monday as part of our Labor Day offerings after Miami Notre Dame. Good talking to you. Good seeing you. Nice hearing your voice again.
Please leave my face up back there. My makeup looks really good in that. Thank you.
Yes, you are welcome. I
did it myself.
A
Bye.
programming note: on Monday, Labor Day, we will give you some limited offerings, even though we're off of Miami Notre Dame and the college football weekend. And I'm here throughout the football season on Fridays. Every Friday throughout the football
Tomorrow?
season, I will be here. All the Fridays. I'm going all the Fridays, as many as
So
I
that
can
includes
do.
tomorrow.
That begins tomorrow.
Dan, it's not just college football that we got to recap. Someone at the MLS offices thought it would be a really smart idea to have the League's Cup final at the exact same time as Miami Notre Dame.
Wow. Limited fake is one of the SUI categories. How much do we have here, Chris? Is this a big category or a small category?
This is about 10 minutes. I like it. This is a strong one.
10 minutes of limited fakes?
And now the SUI nominees for Best Limited Fake. Roy Bellamy, limited fake Flanagan's voice.
Flanagan's.
That's good. Roy, you're really good at that.
So good.
Roy,
Thank you.
Roy.
Flanagan's.
Tony Kaladiud, limited fake Nikola Jokic, carrying the Nuggets on his shoulders.
Jamal Murray. Aaron Gordon, God, make a shot. Michael Porter Jr. Your shoulder. Up on my shoulders. Oh, God, Westbrook. Where's Malone?
Amin El Hassan and Chris Cody, limited fake Patrick Mahomes.
Juju, I'm trying to do my Holmes voice, and I not quite.
Come on, man.
It's a little Kermit the Frog.
I try.
Kermit the Frog.
Come on,
if
Juju.
if I've been smoking a couple of cigarettes.
We be friends, Juju. Huh?
Yeah.
Mike Ryan, limited fake medieval accent.
The contest of last eve was most enthralling.
Yeah, that'd get really
The Knights of New
annoying.
York did battle against their foes with great vigor.
That is much more annoying than
Yet
a
their
pirate.
defenses faltered as their castle walls were laid siege by the most fearsome force from
I'd rather have this than my wife. Arr!
Yeah, I feel
Lo,
like the
their
descriptors-
archers off true of aim did misfire.
Greg Cody, limited fake John Facenda. The frozen tundra.
Not helpful. So let's play for
That
the
was
people.
my John Facenda voice. The frozen tundra.
Less helpful.
Mike Ryan, limited fake Jonathan Zaslow.
Awesome player. He's all right. Hall of Famer. Might be hit. It's your boy coming around. It's your boy, Pat Riley. It's your boy. Don't talk bad about Pat Riley.
I'll take Durant at 50.
I'll take it. He'll make that shot until he's 66.
Amin El Hassan, limited fake Jack Nicholson.
Every single act I do goes like this, and I'm Jack Nicholson, and I don't actually have to do anything else but do this thing right here, and I do my eyebrows, and then I die, and a rat comes around, and all of a sudden we win an Oscar.
Hank Azaria, limited fake Jack Nicholson.
Would you want him to go all Jack Nicholson on you and sit there with his sunglasses on, not giving a shit? I mean, what's the guy supposed to do, goddammit?
Andrew Hawkins, limited fake Michael Irvin.
You're gonna let him come in your house and tell you your beat that you made in 6 minutes isn't good enough? We can't stand for it. Stand up for yourself, Jeremy. We're losing recipes.
Jason Benetti, limited fake Jim Rome.
White smoke, 445. Possible black smoke later on. Jim Lampley is here Friday. Welcome to the jungle. This is the premier radio network.
Chris Cody, limited fake Mike Breen's Bang.
He's got a good bang.
Bang! Bang!
There it is.
There
He
you
got it
go.
back.
That was
Got
good.
it back now.
That
See?
was good.
You got the pain has to be a part of it.
Bang!
Yeah.
Amin El Hassan, limited fake Stephen A. Smith.
Now here's the thing, Dan Le Batard. I know that the scoreboard already says I've won this thing. But if you mean to tell me I'm afraid of Andrew Hawkins, I will put my reputation on the line, and I will say this. Winner take all for this last one.
Greg Cody, limited fake Joe Biden as the werewolf of Scranton. I'm the werewolf of Scranton. Andrew Hawkins and Amin El Hassan, limited fake Cameron and Mace.
Hey, that's crazy. That's
Usually
crazy.
the moderator lobs it up for somebody.
That's crazy. Hey, yo, it's your first time hosting a show?
Not Molly Karam.
Hey, murder. This man.
He Folly Karam.
Come on, yo. What is he doing? That's crazy.
He's Molly, not Karen.
You mad?
Bill O'Reilly. He look like a fat
You
Bill
mad?
O'Reilly.
Let's try
Hey,
this
he's
again.
a mean
Let's
assassin.
try this
I'm
again.
a mean assassin. Yo, Dan, he's the man. He's a mean old bastard.
Chris Cody, limited fake Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
I love when the penguin goes to like the holiday party. He's just like,
Ooh, good impression.
Nobody thinks it's weird that he looks like that. Like it's,
I know, it's just like.
Yeah, and he runs for mayor.
Awful movie. Awful.
In terms of things not holding up, I remember, okay.
I mean, Rudy Giuliani looked the way that he did.
Amin El Hassan limited fake John Taffer.
You're using your bare hands. What are you doing? You're cross-contaminating anyway, you sick son of a bitch. You gotta kill somebody.
Mike Ryan limited fake RFK Jr.
Red Foods are killing us, by the way. I do want to get to your.
Yes, I are. Thank you. I think it's a little too political. I love polio.
This I'm here for.
You say I love polio?
I love polio.
Amin El Hassan limited fake Don Kang.
I'm often confused with the one and only Don King. We are very different individuals, I promise you that. He says only in America, I say strictly in the United States. And I'm here to promulgate the indefatigable pugilistic showdown between the dastardly delicious Draymond Green.
Yes.
And the rudimentary Rudy Gobert.
All right.
It's a showdown in Minnesota.
Jonathan Zaslow limited fake Al Pacino in Carlito's Way.
You think you're big time? Well, you're gonna die! Big time!
Amin El Hassan limited fake Tom Hardy.
See, Kev, me and the arrogance, we've got a problem, ain't it?
Billy Gill and Mike Ryan limited fake David Beckham.
No.
Did he talk like this and say push?
Yes, he did, Billy. It was strange.
His voice doesn't quite match.
Tell the truth.
Mike Ryan limited fake Tom Brokaw.
Terrible news today as
There
it
you go.
confused me with Walter Cronkite. I'm from the greatest generation.
Diana Rossini limited fake Diana Rossini's mom.
Mom, just give me this breaking news. What happened? What happened? Should I tell your father? Are you on the fan? Are you on the fan right now? Did Mike Greenberg call you yet? Are you ever going to go back to ESPN? People think it's so weird you're a writer now. All those years on TV, all those years, and now you write? Who reads that? Why did you take a job at The Atlantic? Mom, I work at The Athletic. What? You're on YouTube? Daddy says you're doing a live show on the draft. Is it Channel 7? You know those girls on Eyewitness News? They look good. They're mothers. They look good, though.
Amin El Hassan limited fake pirate ChatGPT recap of Heat Game.
Our matey, gather around for a tale of the Heat Clippers showdown. The Miami Heat sailed into the battle against the Los Angeles Clippers, bringing fire on the court. The clash be fierce, with both sides giving it their all. The Heat fired cannons from beyond the arc, but the Clippers weren't about to be left in Davy Jones' locker.
He's really a good pirate.
The game was tight, with both teams exchanging blows like a mighty storm at sea. In the end, 'twas the Heat who came out victorious, outlasting the Clippers with clutch shots and solid defense. Bang!
Billy Gill limited fake Shaggy.
Mr. Lover.
Chris Cody and Mike Ryan limited fake Dan Big Timing Dominique.
I say, what up, Dan? You didn't even turn your neck. You shot me with the chuck me the deuces. Kept on rolling. Like, damn, who do you think you are?
I just didn't know it was you. I just thought somebody was shouting my name.
Oh, another day driving to work. Someone shouting my name. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Peace and I'm an ally. He's a big time writer, just like me.
I'm an ally.
Yep, that's what you do.
That kind of thing.
Yep,
No, that's what I do.
That's you, Dan.
I'm an ally.
Wait, do I have the best impression of the day? I'm an ally.
Okay,
Greg Cody limited fake Alien from Scranton.
I am an alien from Scranton. I'm an alien. It could be.
Alien it.
There are aliens all over the United States. I wanted to make clear that I'm an alien from Scranton.
Amin El Hassan limited fake Barack Obama.
Let me be clear. When I heard the news that Stephen A. Smith decided he should run for office, I said that's a great American. Now, some folks across the aisle don't like that. They want Skip Bayless to be the nominee. But I told my family, Sasha, Michelle, Malia,
Charlie Kravitz, limited fake Dan Le Batard.
Put me next to you at your darkest moment, Mr. Uber driver. No, Dominique, it's a cartel, and Bob Kraft not getting anyone to hire Bill Belichick. That's some gangster.
Oh my!
These gladiator games! Defeating the Church of Football, the cathedral!
Dan Le Batard, limited fake Nikola Jokic.
I just want horse.
Tim Kirchen, limited fake Ed Helms in The Hangover.
Look at me. I married a hooker. I got no front teeth. What?
Greg Cody and Chris Cody, limited fake Joe Biden.
Sitting around the kitchen table in Scranton, my dad said, Joey, someday you could be vice president.
Not bad. Try it without the mask. Come on. Give it a whirl.
At a kitchen table in Scranton.
All he's got is Scranton.
That's all he's got. It is all he's got. You're so right. There is. That's
around the kitchen table in Scranton.
We got it. Do I go anywhere else?
South Scranton.
Mike Ryan and Chris Cody, limited fake chorus of Adam Sandler's.
I do believe that. Yes, we will do that. We will do that. Yes.
I hate
yes,
that voice so much. He does an amazing job.
That's really good.
Oh, do you hate that impression?
Oh my God.
It's also really good.
So bad.
A chorus of Adam Sandler's.
The impression is so bad.
What? Stop looking at me, Swan.
Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth.
Unknown listeners, limited fake Steve from Sex and the City.
Miranda? Yeah! Steve! Give it to Steve!
I'm an ally.